Guys out.
That was beast.
Game, record, and stream without compromise on Intel Core i7.
The ESL India Premiership 2018 has 3 seasons: summer, fall, and winter. The summer season takes place from April to June, while the fall season runs from July to September. Finally, the winter season takes place from October to December. Coming to tournament formats, each season is divided into 3 tiers: the professional tier, the Master League; the semi-professional tier, the Challenger Series; the Open tier, the Starter Cups. Moving on to the frequency, every season in the ESL India Premiership 2018 will see 1 Master League, 3 Challenger Series, and 3 Starter Cups. The Masters League now hosts 12 teams and players. Meanwhile, the Challenger Series has 8 contestants and follows a double elimination format. Finally, the Starter Cups are now limited to only 128 participants, so make sure you register for the Premiership now. Once you register for the Starter Cup 1, you'll have to fight your way to the top. At the end of the phase, you will get promoted to the Challenger Series 1. You should try and maintain your position in the Challenger Series 1, 2, and 3. But this is no easy task. At the end of every phase, the bottom 2 contestants are dropped out. They are replaced by the top teams from the Starter Cups. Those who succeed in the Challenger Series are rewarded with promotion to the Master League. The top 4 teams will proceed to play in the next season's Masters League. Meanwhile, the Master League runs uninterrupted until the end of the season. The 12 champions will constantly try to establish their dominance over the others. But at the end of a season, the bottom 4 teams are relegated to the Challenger Series, while the top 4 play at the LAN finale for the top prize. ESL India Premiership 2018 begins in April. The registrations are on, so make sure you sign up now.
Turn around 3 times. Start shooting.
This is the first ever Omen X laptop for gamers that go to extremes. Gear up with a machine designed for total domination and engineered for gaming in stunning 4K. Equipped with the latest Intel Core processors, it gives you the power to be relentless. With a 17.3-inch diagonal screen and desktop-class graphics, you get maximum performance to be victorious anywhere. With multiple fans and large exhaust vents, heat is transferred away from critical components for dynamic overclocking. Ramp up boot times, game loading, and overall system responsiveness with optional RAID 0 SSD configurability. An RGB LED backlit mechanical keyboard lets you program each individually lit key to create customized key maps that switch seamlessly between games. With 2.5mm travel and in-key rollover, you can take out your competition with more accuracy and precision. Designed for extreme immersion, DTS Headphone X technology comes built in for surround sound experience that puts you right in the middle of the action. With the addition of a VR headset, gamers can step inside a completely immersive world for an elevated gaming experience. Single panel access to key components makes serviceability and upgrading easy, so you won't be sidelined or held back on your road to supremacy. It has a brushed aluminum finish on an armor-like chassis. A jet fighter-like construction with hidden lift hinges ensures you're always at the ready. And with striking lighting effects and see-through window to components, others will know too. Unleash your fiercest gameplay anywhere with the extreme performance of the new Omen X laptop.
Welcome to the ESL India Premiership, Day 17 of the Masters League summer season. I'm your host, Aditya, and joining me is the lovely Clash Royale and Dota 2 analyst and lover of those games as well, Zara Angela Gonzalez. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm going to be joining you in Counter-Strike today, so that's going to be pretty awesome.
Talking about Counter-Strike, actually, I do want to say this is a great day, and that's the reason I'm wearing this shiny new white coat, is because Cobblestone has been removed. Hallelujah!
I think
and it has been replaced by Dust 2. Yeah, I know. It's happened. It's finally happened.
Why is it so amazing to you that you had to change your clothes for this one?
Because Cobblestone sucks. And it has been replaced by the stalwart D2. You know, Dust 2.
I know how that map.
I think it's the only map any person in the world will know.
Yeah.
It's the map of maps. It's like the best map ever. It is where you play your deathmatch. It is where you play everything. It is the map of India. It is the national map of India. Also, maybe has something to do with the name as well, the dust. But anyway, that's a joke for another time. But yes, today we're going to have Clash Royale first. And after that, we will have some Counter-Strike. And then we'll close the day again with Dota. Clash Royale is going to be Beast versus Abhi.
Yes.
And Abhi has two names, so it's very confusing because it's Sushil Abhi something. And I don't know why, if his name is Sushil, why his nickname is Abhi. Because I was just thinking it must be Abhishek or something then, but no.
I guess he just wanted to always be called Abhi, but he never got that opportunity to name himself. So he was like, all right, gamer tag, let me just keep it Abhi.
Maybe. But yeah, this is an interesting game because
Talking
it is
about
second,
updates, though, like
second versus fourth place, right? But yeah, before you do get into it, why don't we take a look at Beast? And that is Beast for you, sitting currently on the second position in the points table.
Actually,
or might be the fourth, but they're all at 9 points.
They all are the same points, so you can't really put them much. But as of now, if you look at the board in general, he sits about third, fourth place. He's got about 3 wins to his name and 0 losses. So he seems very confident. Every game he's played.
Beast is at second.
Yeah, now he's at second. In the morning on the other board, he was fourth. But yeah, as I can see here, like he's not really lost a single game. He's one of the most confident players I've seen as of now in the ESL India Premiership summer season. He also has played tough matches. It's not that he's got easy matchups, but he's also been able to secure his victory. The only person he seems to be a little concerned about is Arpan, who sits right on top of him. But I think he studies his opponent's decks pretty well. So I think he'll be a good fight if he has to go against Arpan.
Yes, and Abhi is our next player who sits on the fourth position, as you just saw. So why don't we look at Abhi? So that is Sushil Abhi, whatever his surname is, a Clash Royale professional. Talk about him.
All right, so this player, he likes to play the Hog Rider card a lot. And with that, he also likes to play a Battle Ram kind of bandit combination. And that kind of works well for him. But I think these players got to be a little careful because most of them like to play the Dark Prince. And in a recent update that just happened in Clash Royale, the Dark Prince shield has kind of got a big nerf on it. It's got about 25% damage that's going to be soaked. It's got a very big nerf. So I'm going to be seeing a lot of different plays coming in once that update goes live. I don't think most of our players will be using the Dark Prince after that, because he's been overly strong actually in Clash Royale as of now. But if you talk about Sutakshan, also the first player, he's from Jammu and Kashmir. He's fantastic on his cards. He likes to play the Graveyard Poison combination, and Sushil knows how to counter that to a certain extent. But if he opts to actually go with a P.E.K.K.A. or Royal Ghost or something like that, I doubt he'll be able to take the fight to Beast, and that's my worry for him. If we look at the ban cards from these two players, Sutakshan has gone ahead and banned the 3 Musketeers. Expected ban coming in from him. Sushil Shah not giving the option over here and going to ban off the Giant, another deadly card as of now in the ESL India Premiership. Also very hard to counter. One of the major reasons you got to pick up something like a mini P.E.K.K.A. or even a P.E.K.K.A. to kind of get rid of that Giant. And I don't think both these players want to really deal with that kind of problems. So this could be interesting match. I mean, it is the second and third position, and they are like almost tied to each other. I
think we're starting to see a trend with the ban cards as well, right? It's always a 3 Musketeer, and generally, more often than not, it's always a Giant as well. Like I have seen maybe the P.E.K.K.A. banned once and the Dark Prince banned once, but that was, I think Arpan had banned the Dark Prince against somebody else, but
that actually
it's a trend, right? Just this 3 Musketeer seems to be a very strong card, and people don't want to play against it.
True. More than it being a very big card, I think the major thing of banning out big cards, I mean, when we talk about the World Championship of Clash Royale, you never see them banning big cards. They ban cards like the Ice Golem. They ban cards like Spear Goblins, because those are the actual ones that do a lot of chip damage to your major tower. When you talk about banning big cards, your opponent is always going to have cards to destroy that big card. But if you remove the smaller cards, then the player is forced to choose from a loop of just 4 or 5 big cards that he can play against. So I feel the trend should be changed a little bit. They're concentrating too much on what costs the maximum elixir, but also make sure that if you're playing a 9 elixir card and your opponent is going to ban that, and your whole strategy is based off that one card, it's kind of destroyed. So you have like 2 kinds of ways of looking at why people ban out cards. But here I just think that, they just don't want to deal with 3 Musketeers. They don't want to like really have to deal with this range damage coming in from 3 really super strong heroes who can just demolish a tower right there and then.
Okay, so anyways, do you want to make a prediction before we get into this?
I think I would have to go with Beast because until now he's really taken all these matchups of his previously with the 3-3 lead. He's not really even given one chance to his opponent. But Sushil is a very strong player. I think this game could go to a 3-2, but I would give a little bit of favor to Sutikshan as of now.
All right, so there you heard it. So we're going to go straight into the game. We'll find out if Abhi can leapfrog Beast into the second position or if Beast maintains his second position in the Masters League currently. Our caster is going to be Workaholic, so please take it away.
All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We have a big game today between Abhi and Beast. Beast has been absolute beast so far, by the way. He's never lost a game, apparently. He's been 3-0ing so far all his opponents, and that was an interesting tidbit coming in from Zera there. He's been a beast of a player. And very interesting chat around the fact how the cards are being banned and how these high elixir cards are being banned. Whereas something like, someone could ban a miner or an ice spirit or something, which will, I think, change the whole the way the game is played. It'll be quite interesting to see if someone actually goes ahead and bans an ice spirit or a ice golem, actually, which is a fairly common card to be used by all the players. But interesting cards coming out already. We actually have a Goblin Hut coming down, which is going to be throwing out a lot of units towards Abhi. So he needs to deal with all this push coming in. And by the way, Goblin Hut has a really high health bar, actually. It's very difficult to take down. And of course, it keeps spawning those annoying spear goblins who will just chip away. And they always get that one hit of damage on your tower before they go down, because tower takes around 2 hits to bring them down. So quite an interesting card to have on your deck. And Beast has set up this defensive position right now where he's actually using his Goblin Hut very well. And we can see some of his cards and we kind of see what he's planning to do. He has the Graveyard, which is, I believe, one of his favorite cards as per the info that he's shared with us. So we'll be seeing that Graveyard Poison coming out, which is going to wreak absolute havoc to Abhi. So he's kind of holding on to that right now, and Abhi needs to... Abhi has no idea, by the way, so what's coming his way. So far, very little information being revealed, especially on the poison, the Graveyard, and he's going to be bringing that out right about now because the double elixir time has gone live. So we'll see. Here comes the Graveyard, here comes the log, and a poison also coming out as well. And this is where the big damage starts coming out. Oh, actually, this poison is a defensive poison by Abhi. I did not notice. They look absolutely the same. So Abhi very well countering the Graveyard, barely did any damage. And realizing what Abhi had, Beast kind of did something in location there where he didn't put the poison down because it's completely pointless. So now he needs to not only bait his opponent's poison before throwing his own Graveyard. This is going to be a big problem for him. And guess what? Who doesn't have poison right now? Abhi. And Abhi's poison now available. He has put it down, trying to defend his tower, and the Mega Minion is there also taking some pot shots at the tower as well, bringing it down to 800 health. So Beast off to a good start, I would have to say. We are now in overtime, so any tower, if that is to go down, will bring this game to an end. We have yet to see Abhi get a lot of damage done on the tower. He has the minor poison combo that he can go back to, but he realizes the fact the moment he uses his poison offensively, he's gonna have nothing to defend his tower against with the Graveyard that's coming out. So quite an interesting tidbit he's stuck in there, and you kind of see his dilemma there. He wants to push with the miner and do a minor poison combo, but he needs to keep the poison with him to defend against the Graveyard. So this seems like, for me, it seems like a losing battle, which Abhi needs to kind of get out of, because his tower is fairly low and he's actually switched his focus towards the right hand side. Abhi now trying to make something happen, and the tower on the left, bottom left, is in a very, very low health. So Beast making his decisions right now, what he's planning to do. So this will be quite interesting to see. And another set of poison actually coming out there. This tower is slowly losing its health, and I think another rotation of a poison will clear and finish this game. So 200 health left on that tower. Good game already coming out of Abhi. He already realized what's going on. So here comes the log. Poison is also there and clearing out that game. 1-0 in favor of Beast. Beast actually playing completely like a Beast. I think the score has been updated in the wrong direction at the moment, so which is instantly fixed, by the way. Great comeback there by the production team. Beast 1-0 in this best of 5. This is the ESL India Premiership, and we have our title sponsor Omen by HP, HyperX, Intel, Red Bull also, and Nordwind Gaming. So quite a catalog of companies there, bringing you this exciting games of Abhi versus Beast. And this is game 2 of Beast. And by the way, I want to take this time and talk about the balance changes that have been announced by Supercell that are going to be coming into Clash Royale very soon. So it's quite interesting to actually know what is about to hit Clash Royale a week in advance. So I think Monday or Tuesdays next week is when we are actually going to see these changes being implemented. But they have actually kind of come out and shared that information with everyone, saying, hey, these are the changes that are to be expected for everyone. So everyone kind of understands who's getting nerfed and who's getting buffed. We see the Dark Knight being... the Dark Prince, being nerfed. So his shield has actually gone down 25%. Overall, it's about a 5% damage, health reduction for him. But the shield itself will go down much faster. So we have a big nerf for the Dark Prince there, which is going to be quite interesting to see. There's been some buffs and nerfs to the Nado also. The Tornado has been changed around a bit. So I think next week we are going to see a completely different Clash Royale coming out of here by these guys. So a good connect by the Bandit and the Inferno Dragon. Abhi is already looking in a bad shape. He's lost a lot of health on the tower at the bottom left. And now you can see how he's actually placed his Ice Golem to distract the Baby Dragon, which is now taking hits from 2 different towers at the same time. So he's pretty much taking double the amount of damage he should be taking. So very well done, very well placed units there, by the way. So Beast absolutely doing a beast of a job defending, at the same time doing a 2-pronged attack there. And Abhi now forced to reveal his big card, which is the missile. And still not able to still not able to hold on to the tower to the left, and that took him 6 elixir is what that rocket cost him, by the way. So now double elixir time, he's revealed his big trump card, and that is the golem now making its way across. And this is a do or die for him because he doesn't have much time and the golem walks really slowly. Now Abhi needs to somehow figure out how to stop the Inferno Dragon, which pretty much that did the job there. So the rocket bringing it down very quickly. There's a bunch of minions that are doing a lot of DPS on the golem. So that will break the golem in 2 now. However, look at the time, look at the amount of damage these golems need to do. So this is a losing battle, it seems, for Abhi, and he's actually gonna he's not going to be able to close this game because he doesn't have enough time. 4 seconds left on the clock, and this is game 2 for Beast. Beast is now 2-0 in the lead, and Abhi pretty much didn't have an answer to the push that Beast was throwing at him there, and with the double prong attack on both sides, and with the way how Abhi's expensive units that he had to use, the expensive cards he had to use to defend against Beast. Beast's push there. So it just didn't end up working for him. So he's not able to make that big push across and kind of going all in at the end. But Beast did an absolute great job at holding the last push there and able to close that game in his favor. So 2-0 is the current score. It is a best of 5. So we're hoping that Abhi actually comes back and does some more damage to the score line there. But keep in mind, Beast has actually not dropped a game so far. So from what Angie has shared with us is the fact that he's been winning 3-0 throughout. And have we seen Beast perform in a LAN event before this? No, production says okay, they have. Yeah, but not this way. He's been actual like super beast online. So during the LAN events, we always see something different happening. But it's been quite interesting this year. We actually seen Urban sitting on #1, which normally never used to happen. Even though Urban used to come down at the LAN events and win the LAN events there, because you know the whole strategy, the way everything looks and feels, everything changes at the LAN event. You know, you're sitting across from your opponent, you're seeing your opponent in the eye, and you know, figuring out how you're gonna beat this guy, because you're not playing from the comfort of your house and you know have your favorite Wi-Fi or what all. But LAN brings its own set of pressure. So here comes game 3. 2-0 is the score, and right off the bat we see some of the key cards that Abhi has at his disposal, and we see a balloon, and that balloon already might run into a small trouble because of the goblin hut that's been placed there, and he's taking a lot of damage from the ghost there, which he didn't have to. So Abhi is probably planning to reveal his card right now, and here comes the balloon. Balloon is being zapped away, and guess what? This is exactly what I was talking about. The moment the balloon comes out, the goblin hut also comes out, and look at the damage that goblin hut can take. She can actually take a full hit from the balloon and still survive, and balloon actually had to do his death damage to bring the goblin hut down. So very well played there. Now Abhi, for some reason, he keeps getting hit by the Royale ghost there. So he always makes it through and not getting distracted by the golem that is being placed there, the ice golem. So, double elixir time will start soon. So we're going to see a lot of activity happening at that time. And but what I've noticed so far, Beast is a very, very defensive player. And he's very strong as far as the defense comes down. And look at that. Immediately, he knows what his opponent has. So he places everything accordingly. And the balloon will be stopped in his track. Will not be able to touch the main tower. And thereby that balloon loses its complete value. You know, that balloon, you want that balloon to be able to hit the tower. And because of that, now every time the balloon is being dropped down, it's not doing what it's made to do. It's not able to get through to that tower. And here comes another push on the left-hand side, and immediately we see, look at the pull. Look how far he's able to pull the balloon in the other direction and use the units that he has to kill that balloon. From this time, it didn't even get a hit on the goblin hut. So goblin hut still surviving strong, and this is going to be a big issue for Abhi. Abhi's all the pushes are being challenged here, and now balloon on the right might be able to make it across, but no, being zapped away consistently and not able to get the main damage done. Will get to his death damage. Good game being called out by Abhi, because he realizes that his tower is a very, very low health, only 158 health, and a couple of logs here and there will close it down, and the miner also comes in to help, and there goes. This is another 3-0 for Beast. He's been absolute beast this tournament, and refuses to actually drop any game. And congratulations to Beast here for closing this best of 5 in a 3-0 victory. And bad luck for Abhi, not able to get a point across here. So, but that is it for today, man. That was really, really quick. I'm really surprised at how quickly these games went through. So, but that is it for now for Clash Royale, and this is the ESL India Premiership, and you just experienced great high-level Clash Royale here from Beast. He showed us how he defends and does chip damage on his opponent and closes those games, and didn't matter what came at him, and he had the right answer every time. So congratulations to you again, and I will send it back to the studio to Angela and Aditya Shah. Take care, guys. I'll see you tomorrow.
Welcome back to the ESL India Premiership. Thank you, Gautam, for wonderfully casting that game, which might have been difficult, actually, considering it was another very one-sided game. It's the only It's actually maybe because the other one was, like you said, they had disconnections and stuff in the other 3-0 victory we've seen earlier
Yeah, the 3-crown
this
ones.
season. Yeah, the 3-crown ones. I think this was the most one-sided game I have seen.
Yeah.
And this coming from the second positioned player against the fourth positioned player makes me believe that Abhi's position currently is just based on luck.
Well,
that might be a little harsh. That might be a little harsh on him.
Yeah.
I agree. But still, I mean, I yawned. I like Clash Royale, by the way. I yawned so hard that my eyes were watering.
Well, I would
because that game was just
out of the
sad.
box for you? Sad. Okay. Well, I would just say that at the beginning of this whole thing, I mean, Sushil is a fantastic player. He's able to understand most of the cards in the game, and he kind of plays. To one point, you can also say it's a little bit of luck, but I wouldn't say in favor of Sushil, in favor of Sutakshan. Because if you just see his basic gameplay, he has certain cards that he always works with. And if you're able to counter those cards, it's very simple to take him down. But I'm talking about
three games, and he couldn't counter him. 3 games.
Like, no, but that is again
decks,
dependent on luck. What happened was, if we just break down those 3 games, like Gautam said also in his cast, that Beast plays very defensive, and it's a fact. What he does basically is he will let you play first. Whatever you're sending to him, he will defend that. And if there's something that remains from that defense, he makes that an aggressive push and takes it to the tower. Now, that also says that he really is never playing, he's always playing safe. Actually, he's always playing safe. And that's why he's a very good Clash Royale player, because it takes a lot of I would say it takes a lot in a person to just wait. Yep. And that's where he is very strong. And in the first game, if you look at it, it was not like Sushil didn't have a good deck. He had a brilliant deck. He had a good deck to hold his defense, because he thought that maybe Sutakshan is going to, play really aggressive. But in return, Beast gave him an opponent. Beast gave him a card set that he really couldn't really work with, because it was graveyard plus poison. And that basically means there's no push coming to you. You're basically just going to have to defend your cards that are already stagnant at the tower. And that is something Sushil did not really plan for. So even though he held his defense, there was nothing for him to push with, because his whole deck was defensive. And in the second game, he made sure that, okay, you know what, I really haven't taken a very high Alexa card to push other than the minor in my first game. So in the second game, I'm going to go ahead and play the golem. But then at the same time, Beast was like, you know what, he's, I think, understood my first game strategy. He is going to take something more aggressive in the second game. So then he kept his defense extremely strong. And he at the same time, he took cards that are very good even if you send them earlier in the game, but also are not really very high Alexa cards. Talk about the Bandit, talk about the Battle Ram, the Dark Prince. They can be played offensive and defensive. And that's what he did in the second game. He kind of made sure that even if he's taking the push to the tower, I will not have Abhi bring in the push from his end. And he never really got to play the golem card till about 50 seconds into the game. And you need to play this card right at the beginning if you want to see some impact of this card during the match. And that's where, again, he made a mistake. So Sushil couldn't really contemplate that, okay, I've taken all the aggressive cards now, but this guy has all the defense available. So what do I do against him? Yeah. And the third game, he was like, just, you're playing on the person's mind too. You're starting to frustrate him. And that's when, we had Sushil take the balloon, the miner, the P.E.K.K.A. But whole through the game, I never saw a single drop of the P.E.K.K.A. He always tried to play the balloon, which was returned to him with a P.E.K.K.A. itself. He had the Royal Ghost, he had the Goblin Gang, he had the Poison again, he had the Mega Minions. So it's all about understanding, I would say, just understanding your opponent's mindset. And I believe that Beast just goes back home every day. He watches all his opponents play. He's like, I'm going to take a 3-crown victory, or I'm going to take 3 games and that's it, because I know how this guy plays. I'm going to make sure in the first game I'm playing it safe. I know what my cards are. In the second game, he's going to not be able to counter my first game, so he's going to get aggressive. So I have my card set for that. And in the third game, I'm just going to play with him, and I'm going to make sure my defense and offense is so strong that he really has no reply to what he can bring on the table.
Well, there you heard it. So not really his fault then, not Sushil's fault. My bad. Maybe Beast is just a great player. Hopefully somebody else can defeat Beast, in revenge.
It'd be interesting.
To avenge Sushil, basically.
Definitely.
But yeah, that's the Clash Royale action for today. We will return with Counter-Strike Go in after this very short break. But remember, this is day 17 of the ESL India Premiership, brought to you by Omen by HP, HyperX, Intel, and presented by Nodwin Gaming. So we'll be back after this quick break.
That was beast.
Game, record, and stream without compromise on Intel Core i7.
ESL India Premiership 2018 has 3 seasons: summer, fall. The season takes place from April to June, while the fall season runs from July to September. Finally, the winter season takes place from October to December. Coming to tournament formats, each season is divided into 3 tiers: the professional tier, the Master League; the semi-professional tier, the Challenger Series; the Open tier, the Starter Cups. Moving on to the frequency, every season in the ESL India Premiership 2018 will see 1 Master League, 3 Challenger Series, and 3 Starter Cups. The Masters League now hosts 12 teams and players. Meanwhile, the Challenger Series has 8 contestants and follows a double elimination format. Finally, the Starter Cups are now limited to only 128 participants, so make sure you register for the Premiership now. Once you register for the Starter Cup 1, you'll have to fight your way to the top. At the end of the phase, you will get promoted to the Challenger Series 1. You should try and maintain your position in the Challenger Series 1, 2, and 3. But this is no easy task. At the end of every phase, the bottom 2 contestants are dropped out. They are replaced by the top teams from the Starter Cups. Those who succeed in the Challenger Series are rewarded with promotion to the Master League. The top 4 teams will proceed to play in the next season's Masters League. Meanwhile, the Master League runs uninterrupted until the end of the season. The 12 champions will constantly try to establish their dominance over the others. But at the end of a season, the bottom 4 teams are relegated to the Challenger Series, while the top 4 play at the land finale for the top prize. ESL India Premiership 2018 begins in April. The registrations are on, so make sure you sign up now.
Turn around 3 times. Start shooting.
This is the first ever Omen X laptop for gamers that go to extremes. Gear up with the machine designed for total domination and engineered for gaming in stunning 4K. Equipped with the latest Intel Core processors, it gives you the power to be relentless. With a 17.3-inch diagonal screen and desktop-class graphics, you get maximum performance to be victorious anywhere. With multiple fans and large exhaust vents, heat is transferred away from critical components for dynamic overclocking. Ramp up boot times, game loading, and overall system responsiveness with optional RAID 0 SSD configurability. An RGB LED backlit mechanical keyboard lets you program each individually lit key to create customized key maps that switch seamlessly between games. With 2.5mm travel and in-key rollover, you can take out your competition with more accuracy and precision. Designed for extreme immersion, DTS Headphone X technology comes built in for surround sound experience that puts you right in the middle of the action. With the addition of a VR headset, gamers can step inside a completely immersive world for an elevated gaming experience. Single panel access to key components makes serviceability and upgrading easy, so you won't be sidelined or held back on your road to supremacy. It has a brushed aluminum finish on an armor-like chassis. A jet fighter-like construction with hidden lift hinges ensures you're always at the ready. And with striking lighting effects and see-through window to components, others will know too. Unleash your fiercest gameplay anywhere with the extreme performance of the new Omen X laptop.
A very good evening to all of y'all and welcome back to the ESL India Premiership Summer Seasons Master League Studio segment. I'm joined today with Aditya and this amazing event is brought to you by Omen by HP, HyperX and Tel and organized by Nodwin Gaming. In the next game of today, we're going to have Counter-Strike Global Offensive for you folks. So, do you want to first introduce the teams before we talk more about them?
Sure, go for it.
All right, Intensity Pune 5. Let's see who they are first. I'm sure they are from Pune. Anyway,
that's the only thing. That's the only thing even I know about them at this point, and
yeah.
I'm not afraid to admit it. You know, like it is very difficult. But they are a new and upcoming team, and a couple of them have played last year in the Fall Masters League. But since then, the team has changed. I do vaguely remember RSN and Never Give Up in the last year, but not anymore. I don't anymore. I mean, the three players, I have no idea who they are. Is what I mean. And this will be a learning experience for me as much as it will be for you as well. Like, you know, depending on how good or bad they are. But what I do think is, what I do know is that this team has defeated Entity Gaming in another tournament earlier in the year. I'm not sure if it was the exact same lineup because I have heard that Intensity Pune 5 changed their lineup after that. They might have changed their lineup after that.
Yeah.
So I don't know what to expect from them, except that I can just tell you that they have played 2 games, and both those games, out of them, one of them was on cobblestone, which is bad luck for them because come 26th April, by the way, come 26th April, even in the Masters League, cobblestone will be removed. You will not be able to play it anymore. It will be replaced by the tried and tested Dust 2, and we will bid goodbye and adieu and good riddance to the worst map ever to be made, cobblestone. So I know at least for a fact that I know the entire talent pool that is like Mamba and Blair and Fett and I are completely excited that we're completely so happy, we're overjoyed that cobblestone is finally dead. Stay that way. Please, Valve. But yeah, so the cobblestone game against War, they won that 16-6. It was on April 7th. On April 9th, they played against SRA on Cash. They lost that 16-12. So
pretty close there, actually.
Yeah, it's pretty close. They're not that. They're no slouch. They're on the Masters League, right?
Yeah.
We're not going to invite teams that aren't good enough. So of course that is there. But yeah, I mean, other than that, we don't know that much about them because they did not perform really well in the fall season finale fall season as well. They never made it to the finale. So yeah, I mean, it remains to be seen how good or bad they are.
And while we think that there is a team that we don't know much about, there is the team that they're going up against today, which all of us really know so much about. Invictus, let's see you. Alright, so that is Team Invictus. I know most of the players there have been watching them for quite a while now. I mean, we've both been in part of the esports industry for so long. You see certain players who are always at every event. But I want to hear more from you about Invictus.
Yeah, I mean, Invictus, right? There is the best thing I can say about them right now is they are unbeaten and they are top of the table right now. They have 5 wins to their name. All 5 of them, by the way, on Inferno. All 5 of them. And by the way, we've seen 10 Infernos in the Premiership, right?
Out of 17
in the Masters
days.
League. In 17 days. And out of those, 5 of them are all including, with Invictus. Invictus has participated in half those Infernos.
Okay.
So clearly they love this map. And also they did... the main highlight of these 5 victories is that they defeated Portal Esports, or PES, or Pro Evolution Soccer, whatever you want to call it, 16-5 on Inferno. That game was actually in overtime, and then it had to be replayed due to server issues and things like that. And in the replay, Invictus has just gone wild and absolutely wrecked Portal Esports in that. So clearly they learned a few things in the first game, right?
True.
They were like, we know how they play now, so let's take them out, let's take them down. And yeah, Hunter as well, right? That was the main highlight from the last game where Invictus featured, was he's coming back into his flair, his amazing kills, right? His 1-on-2s, his 1-on-1s, everything. Like he's been playing really well, and his opening picks with the op have also been something to talk about. And it's a great thing for Invictus because they already have the experience in Manan and Ribi, and they need that explosive potential from Hunter as well as from Excali to really make that difference. And I've said that before as well. If these two players go off, there's barely any combination of players that can stop them.
That's true. And while we talk about how Inferno has been picked up 5 times from Invictus,
that better. Once we could get into the veto.
We could get into the veto and see whether they've decided to ban it out for now. And
so there you go. Intensity Pune 5 does ban Inferno. It's their second ban. Train looks to be their permaban. Invictus's permaban is Cash. We know that as well. Cobblestone being banned by Invictus, not a surprise there. Like I said, it's a pathetic map, and it's great that it's gone from the active duty map pool. And after that, Invictus had the choice between Mirage and Overpass, and I think it's a very smart pickup to go for Overpass instead of Mirage, because against a more random team and against a team that you do not know much about, right?
Yeah.
It's much better to go for a map where you can control the pace, where you can control the pace, basically. You can control how the game is going to go. And Overpass is that sort of map where you can control the game, because as CT side you can push, and even as T side you want to control the pace, basically, unlike Mirage where anything can happen.
have you seen Invictus play on Overpass?
Not this season, of course, but I do want to It is going to be surprising. I mean, it is going to be interesting to see Pasha Sahel and Manan on it, because I know Hunter and Ribby and even Excali are very comfortable on the map. Excali, towards the end of his time with Entity, right, they were playing a lot of overpass, and so Excali will be fine with it. Same with Hunter.
True.
And hence the same with Ribby as well. But Ribby has liked it from before. He used to play, like when I used to play with Ribby as well, we used to like overpass and we used to play it together. And we had this really interesting hold on A as well. Why don't we look at the map first?
Definitely. Let's have a look at how overpass is.
Overpass. A mix of vertical and classical designs makes this map one of the favorites of many professional teams. The team that controls the connector usually comes out with the win.
That looks like a very, very big, massive map to play on. I mean, maybe that's why you also say that it's a map where, you know, you just know what you can control, because you know all the major points if you're a very experienced player.
Yeah, exactly. So especially on the CT side, right? This that video talks specifically about the connector control, which is really important for the terrorists, because the counter-terrorists have that rotation point, which is CT spawn from A to B, because it's literally a 5-second rotation for them. So the terrorists need connector to rotate quick enough. And the other thing is, like, for the CTs, it's very important to play it in stages. There are 3 areas that they need to defend, actually, when it comes to the A bomb side at least. They need to first defend the fountain area, like from the birthday party, and also A long from ahead. If you do defend from birthday party, you're kind of defending A long already. You try to get a kill there. If you get a kill there, great, you can fall back to the site, or you fall back one step back towards the WC area that we call it. It's the A shot, basically, and they need to defend that. And then the third level of defense, or the third area of defense, is actually the A-bomb site in itself. And that is the important part. It takes a great team and it takes great coordination to actually be able to defend overpass in stages. Hence, it's not really simple for a pug team to play overpass, actually. So yeah, I mean, I think Invictus has actually gone with a really good map pickup against this, but I am really interested with to see if Pasha Sahel and how Pasha Sahel and Manan especially do on this map, because I haven't seen these two guys play this map that much, and Manan was in a team last year that hated playing overpass, so it's going to be an interesting change for him.
All right, so with that, without further ado, let's just head into the game. We have our casters ready. Mamba and Fed are ready to take this game for y'all, so we are going to see y'all right after that.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to ESL India Premiership. It is the Masters Division, and today it is going to be Invictus going up against Intencity Pune 5. But before I go any further, let me take this opportunity to introduce myself. My name is Ranjit Mamba Senior Patel, and alongside me I have a man who's ever so cheerful and ever so bold about the game. It is our Chishman Fet Pradhan.
Well, thank you, Mr. Mambe. I'm christening you Mambe now because such a sweet intro. And well, we're going to be seeing Overpass. Thank God, no more Inferno or Mirage. Holy hell, I've been craving for a change in scenery, and it is one of my favorite maps here, Overpass, being played today. And looks like Team Invictus is going to be 3 players up long, 2 players in B long. Alright, A long and B long. So looks like they're going to get some mid control and try and make their way through connector and towards B short and split B towards the end of the round. Surprising though that Intencity haven't really shown much intensity. They're going for a very passive play, but Mavis, even though he's completely blind, gets the bomb carrier. That's 6 Cali and then walks into 2 players. 3 players walking up short, but look at Never Give Up. He's doing his best ostrich impression, burying his head in the sand. Seems to have worked out wonderfully for him. They didn't spot him out. He's going to get 2 quick kills and the bomb down in a very precarious position. In the meantime, Blur will come up from heaven and just clean it up for Intencity Pune 5. Very good start from them. Decent strat, but not really working out, and that's what happens when you don't clear your corners.
Well, that's true. That is absolutely true. And it was kind of surprising that Invictus did not check that angle, but I mean, in the chaos of the first round, you don't really expect that to come in, right? And in the meantime, it's kind of surprising the way Invictus played this, because I expected them to just go in and not worry about things so much. But Excali being a little too unfortunate, being taken down while the opponent was blinded. So yeah, it's unfortunate, but they're going to force it up. They have 4 CZs alongside a Deagle to work with. Kind of surprised at the fact that Hunter is going in for the support play, because I played a few Faceit games. I think I played one Faceit game with him today, and he was destroying everyone, even though it was a level 10 lobby. So yeah, kind of surprised going in for the flashes and the smokes, but he had the money to work with, so I think why not. But in the meantime, the CTs, this is a questionable crossfire, right? I mean, our SN does not have the best weapon for that range, and he's still going to try and defend Caramel, which I think is going to be a monumental task for him. And Caramel is going to get blind, he's going to fall. He'll get taken down by Excali though, and RSN has to do all the work. Gets the first one, going to get the second as well. He's going to get spotted, has to fall back. He's going to find the headshot onto Posh, trying to get the second one as well. He's going to get taken down, and that is going to be a 3v3 situation. RSN being taken down by Ruby with a headshot, and Blur is going to be absolutely blinded. The Molotov coming, the smoke as well coming towards the CD base, and Nate is going to get thrown out, and I think Invictus have decided to fall back. Now this could be a read which might, I mean, this could be something that might not work out in the favor of the Terry side, because the rotation on the CD side are so quick. Right? It's literally right below them, and we have Mavis on the B bomb side, and the CD is finally realizing there's a B take coming out. The nade is gonna go. It's gonna be Never Give Up getting the first one, and Mavis, look at that, they're getting the frag with the nade and Never Give Up finishing off the last guy. That was Hunter. So trying to fake so late in the round, and especially when you pushed up so deep inside toilets, I think it's not the best decision to make, because the rotation for CDs is very quick. So that didn't really work out for them. But Fed, I only heard from you, right? Even though they went in, I had it been any other map, I would have still been okay with it, but on Overpass, I'm not quite sure.
I mean, see, the thing is, took a gamble, right? They got 2 picks over towards the A bomb site, and they thought that they would have, instigated a rotation to come out from the CTs. They were right, but then, like you said, right, the rotations are so fast on Overpass that you need to really be sure of what you're doing. And the fact that they really didn't have the weapons, and they got caught off guard. Never Give Up getting those 2 quick kills, Mavis with that nade, and now Never Give Up spots out, well, I think the entire bunch of them. Oh, that nade though, and Blur can just mop up the kills. He's on an ace, and Hunter, well, he's gonna do his best to try and let Blur not get that ace, but Blur farming up that match IR and getting 4 kills with the SMG. That's money in the bank, baby. And look at him sitting flush with $9,300, and that's gonna allow him to pull out the AWP immediately. Intensity Pune 5 bringing out the big guns, double zoom bangers for the win. And now Invictus, well, they're going to bring out the AK-47s to play. They're going to have limited utility, but at least they have 4 smokes and a whole bevy of flashbangs to play with. And it's going to come down to basically who hits their shots right about now, because Invictus, they don't really have much in terms of utility. They really need to draw the utility out from Intensity Pune 5 without letting go of much. And Excali immediately going to get taken down to 71 HP, walking into a nade. That's literally like stepping on a landmine and feeling your nether regions get blown away with the wind. And, well, Excali somehow manages to make it out of connector. And
well, still surprised. Yeah, I mean, still surprised. The fact that Caramel has UMP45 to work with, I think he would have probably wanted to get an opening pick or 2, but that is not going to be the case. And Invictus off to a start which they did not really expect, or none of us expected actually. But Intensity Pune 5, I've seen Caramel farm a lot of IR on So Strong Pucks. I've seen Blur as well play a bit, but the rest of the 3 guys, I haven't seen them play a lot. So I think it is going to be an interesting match the way these guys have started up, and we haven't seen some questionable plays coming up as well. So I'm really intrigued and excited for Pune 5, the way they are going to be playing. Caramel, look at that. This backstab is huge. The more information he has is amazing, and this could be really bad for the series. But in the meantime, Mavis is going to get taken to the refrag and Never Give Up. Just waiting it out towards Dildo. No, man, towards the pillar. He's going to find the frag, and Hunter getting 2 frags right there. It is going to be Caramel on the backstab, and Hunter on 1 point of it. Can he pull this off, though? He's going to find the first one. Isn't a 1v2, has to pull this off, and the trade frag not being able to come in because Hunter got caught off guard on 1 point of hill, and Caramel is going to switch it up for the AK-47. He's going to spot on Ruby. Can he get back though? He's going to get behind him, but can he get the last one as well? Ruby is going to go down, and that was such an insane round coming in from Caramel on the backstab, getting so much information, getting Hunter as well, and getting the rest of the 2 guys, and winning the round for the CT side.
My god, that round from Caramel, like, he was channeled his inner David Copperfield. Now, for those of you who don't know, David Copperfield was famous for getting out of binds and getting out of situations that there was no escape from. He was a magician hailing from the United States. And right there, Caramel pulling out that 1v2 like a magician pulls a bunny out of a hat. And that was beautiful play from him. Yes, it was a bit of a misplay coming out from Invictus as well. There's actually no need to go for those two 1v1s that they literally offered him up on a plate. But credit where credit is due. Caramel, you know, showing stones of steel and keeping his cool, keeping his nerve, and pulling that one off. Credit where credit is due. And now, in Intensity Pune 5, they're off to a banger of a start. They're 4 rounds ahead, 4-0. They're looking like they can go 5-0 up. And the ball's in Invictus's court. I would have expected them to have a much better showing on this map. It is overpass. They've had thumping victories, but it looks like Intensity Pune 5 have done their homework, and they are no pushovers. And Invictus might be rethinking their strategy just a little bit right about now. Oh, Excali wrecked.
It's gonna be RS in the first one. He's gonna get taken down by Hunter, actually Pasha, but this is quite surprising, right? He got the first pick and he got taken down. It's gonna be Ruby just waiting it out. The C4 is gonna be planted as well in a pretty safe position. Pasha is gonna be on 19 points, and Pasha cannot, but he's on 19 points. They don't have the time to exchange the weapons up. Ruby is gonna be a little aggressive inside back, and he's going to miss out on the shot. Ruby, you cannot miss those. You have to connect that. And Pasha again, the first time he gets the second as well. He's going to get it. What is even happening? Pasha in such a weird spot, right? In such an awkward spot on 19 points of health, getting 2 headshots and saving the day for Invictus. And Ruby was a little too unfortunate, and that angle is actually a pretty hard angle to hold as well. So kind of surprised that Pasha actually pulled it off, because he was in such an awkward spot, and the CT is things not really working out for them in this round.
I mean, Pasha just showed Caramel that, bro, if you can do it, I can do it better. Caramel had 100 HP. Pasha did that on 16. That was glorious to watch. And, well, Invictus winning a round that they had absolutely no right winning. I've lost count of the number of times I've said that over the course of this first season itself. And, alright, 1-for-1 trade. Excali finding the kill onto Mavis. And because of the fact that the CTs, even though they won 4 rounds, they've lost so many players in doing so, they're going to be forced down to an eco. And Excali and gang can actually use this as a launching board to, you know, get a couple of rounds under their belt. And it is overpass. It is a very CT-sided map. So as long as they end the T side with 5 or 6 rounds, I think they have a very good chance of coming away with the game. Intensity Pune 5, however, the goal for them would be to try and, you know, put the game beyond the reach of Invictus on the Switch. Because if you remember your CS history correctly, and I know you do, Mamba, because you watch a lot of CS, Overpass has seen some of the largest comebacks in CS history. You know, the infamous Olaf pass, you know, yeah, Boostmeister, the one which put, you know, Olaf on the map. Fnatic came back from 13-2 half.
Yeah, 13-2.
Yeah. So this map is not unknown for miraculous comebacks. So Intensity Pune 5 need to do all they can to put this game beyond, you know, reasonable realm of reality for Invictus to come back from on their CT side. So it's going to be a cracker of a game. I can already feel it. Both these teams are charged up, and I'm just lucky that I get to watch an overpass game finally and past it as well.
That's true, and I actually saw a new boost coming up on the terrace base. You could have if you could have one of the T-spawn cameras on, because you know, there's a wall when you go towards the left side, right? So when you go from the terrace base up front, there's a wall, and you can do a 4-man boost, which gives you a clear shot towards the CT heavens on the B-bomb side. And that is one boost I've not seen into picture except for only once, and that too was a Reddit clip. So that was something that was pretty interesting, and we've seen this map. This map is known for innovation and comebacks. So if one of these teams can show us something that has not been used before, that would be really nice. But in the meantime, Ruby is going to be going up all alone. He is going to be throwing the Molotov, trying to force out the CD, but Blur is going to wait it out. He has a 5-7 to work with. This could be devastating for Ruby if he gets taken down, and is going to miss out on the spray. He is almost being taken out there, but Pasha coming in and saving the day. And Pasha in the second frag as well. It's going to be Arson is going to go down and reducing it to a 3v4 in their favor. And look at that shot, Caramel! What a tasty headshot onto Pasha is going to get traded out by Hunter. And it is going to be Never Give Up and Mavis on the CD side in a 2v3 situation. Now this is a little too tough for the CDs to do, but you know, never lose hope. We have both the CTs towards the A bomb side, but the C4 has already made its way towards the B bomb side. So I don't think the CDs will be able to do much in this round. So talking about both the teams both the teams in general, I think Invictus did not have the start they wanted, but have steadily, you know, gone the last 2 rounds, and methodically as well, right? They've been connecting the shots, but in the meantime, Mavis is going to try and find the frag onto Excali. He's going to connect the shot, not being able to connect the follow-up, and will get destroyed by Excali's AK-47. The skull being ripped apart and never going to give up is going to go down as well, and that is going to be the third round coming up for Invictus.
I think the reason Invictus had a slow start, I feel maybe because they weren't giving due respect to Intensity Pune 5. I mean, I get where they're coming from. Intensity were in the final season of last year's Masters Division, the ESL India Premiership, and they didn't really put up much of a fight. They kind of went out with a fizz, not with a bang. And Invictus might be, you know, reminiscing or harkening back to the old days, but it's clear Intensity Pune 5 has put in the hard work and are clearly a brand new team, or at least a team which is rejuvenated and knows what they want from this season. And once I think Invictus start giving that respect to Intensity Pune 5, there's a lot more caution that gets introduced into their game as well. They're a lot better with their utility. They're actually going for some map control. They're taking it slower, and there we go, opening frag coming out from Caramel. The trade just a shade bit too slow to come in from Excali. So Excali is still going to be just marching his way along A-long and maybe try and catch a couple of CTs off guard, because there's literally no one marking. They're behind, and Excali can literally walk up A-long, turn around, and shoot a couple of players in the ass and have them wonder, how that happened. But that smoke could be somewhat of a giveaway. Let's see. It all hangs in the balance. Blur having rotated off. Oh, Excali, is he going to check it? And Hunter finds Mavis in the meantime over towards the B bomb site. That might just trigger a rotation. Caramel is aware that there could be a player who may have sneaked up, and Excali should hear that. Should be hearing that. Spots out Caramel. Caramel hasn't spotted him. This could be devastating for the CTs, because Excali will be in with the flank even before they know what hit them. Will we see a shanky stabby come out? That's the question.
I like how you put it, right? But Excali has heard RSN as well coming in, so this is going to be interesting. He's in such an awkward spot. He's gonna get backstabbed. Excali on the backstab. He's going to get backstabbed and has to go down. And he's not going to jump down though. He's going to fake it. RSN is going to get taken down. And Excali, such high sensitivity. It's going to be Caramel though, finding the frag onto Binary. Get the second frag as well. Caramel, you know, stepping up his game. He's going to get the third one as well. What is happening, Caramel? You monster. Ribby in a 1v2 has to pull this off. Is going to spot Caramel, I guess. And he's going to go around the corner. And oh my god. That was an ace! That was actually an ace that came in. Never mind, I thought it was a quad kill, and it's actually an ace coming in from Caramel, and that was pretty brilliant. That was pretty brilliant from Caramel.
Credit where credit is due.
Wow,
well, Intensity Pune 5 needed an ace up their sleeve, and it turns out it was Caramel with that ace. Beautifully played with the big green gun there. And Invictus kind of falling prey. I mean, Excali, he did show trigger discipline, but you know, it's one of those situations, right? Damned if you do, damned if you don't. Had he shot Caramel earlier, well, he obviously wouldn't have gotten that ace, but then he would have given up his favorable position. But Excali whiffing the spray on towards RSN, he needed a clean kill there, and him whiffing there gave the CTs enough time to gather their wits about them and, you know, get the job done essentially.
That's true. Man, that was a pretty impressive ace coming in from Caramel. Even though I've only seen his stats, I've never really seen him play. But, well, I think the stats don't lie, right? He has some impressive IR in the pugs. And as far as I know, he's not into next, right? Is he into next?
I think, I'm not really sure if he's made it into next, but yeah, he does have an insanely high pug IR.
But nonetheless, it is going to be RSN pushing up behind the smoke towards the dead end of toilet towards mid, and the flashbang going in towards A-long. It's not really going to blind anyone because there is no one. And Binary just waiting it out. So it's not even a default, but Pasha in the meantime is going to find the openings. It is going to be RSN who's going to get taken down. And Caramel not budging. He has a lot of balls now. He's just going to wait it out. Does not want to fall back and Blur. In the meantime, he's going to try and, you know, delay the rush as much as he can. But he's going to find the first one. Pasha is going to get taken down, and he has to fall back now. Binary Bragg along with his teammate just waiting on Ruby. Is going to get spotted, and he is going to get destroyed. Caramel, you know, gets taken down. Ruby can headshot onto Blur. Can the second one can he get hurt as well? Nope, that is not going to happen. Ruby is going to find his head, and that is going to reduce it to a 2v2. It is going to be Never Give Up and Mavis in a... it's not even a retake because C4 is towards the B bomb side, and I think Ruby has done a brilliant job, Hunter, in a 1v2, and this man is more than capable of pulling this off. And I think the CD still think that it's an 8 take for some reason. Alright, finally they're going to realize, and this fake was sold so beautifully, and Hunter is going to try and peek out and line them up. And he's going to go around the corner, gets the first one. No, maybe not. He's actually going to get taken down. I thought he actually got the frag, but nonetheless, it is going to be Hunter who's going to go down. And that was quite an unfortunate round coming from Invictus.
I mean, actually, I can't fault Invictus or Intensity Pune 5 that round. Like towards the late round, both teams played that perfectly. Ribby selling that fake like a snake oil salesman sells his product. Like, he just sold that so hard that Intensity Pune 5 actually thought that the bomb was Nave, and they could actually hear the fact that there was no bomb ticking away like 10 feet from them. And then on the retake, Intensity Pune 5, instead of splitting up, they just, I mean, they ran the risk of getting mowed down by one spray, but they took that risk. Spacing was good, timing was good, and Hunter just had one too many people to shoot at, and they were able to get the kill. They overwhelmed Hunter, who made the right play as well. In that situation, you go for that aggro play. You don't sit back on your ass and wait for the action to come to you. You take the action to the opponent. Can't fault it. Good plays across the board, and that was a very good round of CS that the viewers just witnessed.
That's true, and it was quite an amazing round at the same time. But getting back to the game, getting back to the current round number 10, we have an op. We actually have a double op setup coming in on the series. Blur and Cannibal having the ops. Bidenbrook is going to wait it all with the UMP45 and Mavis towards pillars. So the setup from the series is it's a standard setup. It's not something fancy, but in the meantime, it's going to be B execute coming up, and Mavis is going to be absolutely blinded. It's going to be Never Give Up. I really like the P from Never Give Up, and Pasha is going to try and find the flag, but in the meantime, Hunter going in and getting 2 flags. Right, the Caramel is going to be jumping around the corner like a bunny and just coming in casually, hoping for someone to be there. So Caramel has been playing a little casually as well. He's feeling it. He's feeling confident as well. And RSN going up towards heaven. The flashbang is going to get thrown out. Caramel almost being taken down through the plank, and RSN is going to get taken down. And Caramel in a 1v4. It is going to be a little too much to ask for, to be honest, but Excali is going to go down. AK-47 being picked up, and Hunter is going to find his head, and the scoreline is actually going to go to the 4th round. Wait, never mind. The scoreline is going to be 6-4 in the favor of the CD side. And wow, that sentence formation was just down the drain. But yeah, that was a pretty standard round. Nothing fancy, nothing special coming in. Only the basics of Counter-Strike being played out. The trades coming in. The CTs being a little too unfortunate, and Invictus have called in a tactical timeout, even though they actually won the round. So not quite sure what happened right now. But yeah, it's a tactical timeout. It's not one of the players timing out, which is fortunate, which is a nice thing once in a while.
I mean, the main reason that Invictus would be calling a tactical timeout right now is that they know that they've just reset Intensity Pune 5's economy. They know, like, I think they're just planning out how to play this anti-force, because they are bleeding a lot of players during eco rounds, which is actually acting as a hindrance to their own economy. So it would behoove them to come up with a proper game plan for this anti-force, and to have a clean anti-force for a change, losing as few players as possible and retaining as many rifles in return. So basically what I would like to see from them is to use that entire bevy of nades that they've bought up and use it properly, and try and flush out as many Pune 5 players from their little hidey holes. Because the pistols, you all know, the CZ, you put it in connector or put it in the B bomb side where you have those tight choke points to contend with. That thing can shred armored opponents to bits. That CZ is O-effing-P. And I think any one of us who's played, against a CZ off late can attest to that fact.
And I want to bring this to the viewers' notice, right? This isn't even the strongest the CZ has been. This is the nerfed CZ, and which everyone was complaining about. So the older CZ, when we did not have that reload delay, we did not have the pull-out delay, and we had more bullets to work with. This was a gun that you should, that would probably overpower an M4 as well at times, and it was a one-tap headshot as well. So RSN falling back at the most perfect time possible. He's just gonna fall back and go towards connectors. Just watch it out, and maybe try and find some sort of information, because he's gonna fall back towards the bomb site. And we have 3 guys, actually 4 guys on the terrace side coming in towards long, and Blur just waiting it out towards the bombs. Caramel being boosted up top towards B. RSN will have to do a lot of work. This is gonna be in a awkward spot. He is not going to be at a place where it's easier to get the crossing frag, because he only has a CZ to work with, and Blur is just waiting it out. The smoke blocking his field of view. Excali, I think his battle got spotted over there, not quite sure, but he's gonna be coming in. and finally has been spotted, not being taken out right there. Skelly's gonna find the first one. It's gonna be blurred though. Getting the second, and he's gonna get traded out really quickly. Hunter getting the frag onto Mavis, and Caramel just waiting it out behind the smoke. This isn't a puck, Caramel. You have to go in, but nonetheless, he's just gonna wait it out because there's not much he can do from this position. And with the Deagle to work with, he is it gonna spot? I'm not quite sure, but well, he's gonna get taken now by Hunter. Never give up all alone in a 1v4. He has Kevlar to save. I mean, unless he just wants to go in and try and get a few guns off the terrace side, which should not, I mean, honestly make a huge difference. But the cash is sight on both the sides, so it's just a nice thing to be able to pull off a few guns. And I think one of the players is just gonna wait it out. It's gonna be Pasha alongside Hunter, just waiting out towards a bomb because they don't want to give up control of the bomb side. And Pasha will have to fall back, and so has Never Give Up. I mean, Never Give Up has to go back as well, and he almost got backstabbed right there. Only 11 bullets to work with. It's going to go down inside waters, and he's going to get taken down by Excali on the backstab, and that is going to be the 5th round coming off for Invictus.
Yeah, and like I said, that game plan, you know, the tactical timeout kind of worked. They did manage to keep 3 players alive, which allows them to build some economy. And Intensity Pune 5, well, they were looking at a double eco regardless, so they're going to have to hard eco this round, and Invictus should just look completely and utterly overrun the Pune 5 defense and tie up the scores 6-6. With that, Invictus will not only reach the, you know, round goal that I thought they should be aiming at on the T side, but they have a very good chance of actually surpassing that and coming out on top of the first half on the T side of Overpass, which is, as I already said, the less favorable side to start on. And Invictus showing us why they're one of the best teams in the country. I mean, it is a lineup featuring some of the stalwarts of Indian CS, Ribby, Excali, Hunter, these names, big names in the Indian scene, all featuring in the X-Entity squad. Like, that was a huge, like, that was a drama maybe left for, that's a drama maybe left for, you know, other times and other tasks. But for those of you who've been following the Indian scene, these are very storied names and some of India's best by far at the game. Excali, one of the most mechanically gifted players India has ever produced. Excali gonna be peeking towards waters, and he's gonna get insta-dinked, trying to control his spray, but true to his name, never give up, doesn't give up that battle, comes out on top, and well, they're able to recover an AK-47 for all his hard work. RSN in the meantime is in for the flank. They have no idea where he's sneaking in from, and truth be told, Invictus shouldn't be losing more guns to just pistols, guys. Like, literally, these aren't even upgraded pistols. Excali just got obliterated by a USP. They really need to figure their shit out, because this is not how you play anti-ecos.
Well, that's a lot of teams, but in the meantime, Mavis is going to find the headshot on Taunton. Look at RSN in such a good spot, but being a little too ambitious right there. Should not have done that, or maybe just wanted to waste some seconds so that the CT is on the CT bait. So that's completely alright. In the meantime, talking about the way the entire round was played, it was not the most perfect round that was played out by Invictus, but I mean, it still worked out because it was a complete eco. Could have went the other way. I remember this one match, I think it was Brutality versus ATE if I'm not mistaken, and Brutal just rushing towards Banana on a complete eco and they lost out, and that was kind of surprising, but that was a choke point. Getting back to this map, we don't have any ops to work with on either of these two teams, and the CTs don't even have a lot of resources. They only have 2 smokes, no Molotovs, 1 nade. This is gonna be hard right now. In a situation like this, you have to try and either get some sort of information, if not a kill. And if you are going to fall back and play, there's not much you can do. So you have to make sure that mid-round aggression works out for you and get that opening frag to work with, or maybe just have the information so you can call in the early rotation.
I mean, look, the thing is, Invictus aren't playing a very special CT side, T side either. They've literally gone for no map control in most of their rounds. They're just focusing on the B-bomb side. They've realized that they can just take this team on their aim. Hunter overextending slightly, and RSN just holding that B-bomb side like a rock. And they're doing this time and time again. They're just walking in one by one. Intensity Pune 5. They're not really getting the trade game on. And now it's never give up in a 1v2. It's coming down to these 1vx clutch situations for both the teams. And that's not how you play Overpass. I mean, Overpass is a beautiful map played. And when played beautifully, it is a sight to behold. And map control is one of those things that is of utmost importance in a round of Overpass. And neither team is actually going for it. You see very little aggression coming out from Intensity Pune 5. They're just getting penned in and overwhelmed at the bomb sites. You know, Never Give Up makes his position known. Ribby is still crouching and pooping on the side, but well, there we go. Does get the final kill. Never Give Up bites the dust. That's Ribby just smashing his skull in with 7.62 bullets for good measure, and Invictus inch into the lead. Back to what I was saying. You need map control. The reason Invictus is winning right now is because they're just out-fragging and out-aiming their opponents. Again, you do this against a good overpass team, they're going to punish you for the fact that, you know, you're not really going for map control. A good overpass team would have pushed long or pushed mid by now, and the fact that Invictus was just chilling in canals for what, a good 40 seconds, they'd just get bombarded with nades, flashes and molotovs, and they'd be made to pay for their, you know, for the fact that they're taking a tea break in the middle of a round of CSGO.
That's true, and it's a beautiful map. I really want to reiterate and say it again because it just rhymes. Everything could be beautiful. Like, it's a beautiful map when played. Beautiful is a beautiful sight to watch, right? But getting back to it, Intensity is going to call in the second time out as well, so they need more time to figure the mistakes out, and they don't have a lot of cash, right? So this is almost a throw around because they could go in for semi-force if they want to. Maybe get UMP or two, get a few flashes, try and get some frags and get the money going, or maybe just try and win the round as well if they can try and wait. Hold on for a second. I think there is a technical issue with Invictus as well. They have some TeamSpeak issues, so we are going to see slightly longer pause coming in, and now the CT side has asked not to unpause. So, well, nonetheless, but talking about the matchup, right? This is a scoreline that I did not expect in the first time, even though I did not. I somehow knew that Intensity would not allow Invictus to walk all over them, but they had a really good start, and I think that's one of the reasons why they actually have 6 rounds on the scorecard, because once Invictus started pulling rounds off, they've only been able to. No, Intensity have only been able to get 2 rounds, so this is something that goes on to say a lot, right? They won the first 3 rounds. They won the first round, the anti-eco, and the first buy round as well, and that just gave them a lot more leeway to work with. But again, being on the CD side of a map like Overpass and you only have 6 rounds, and the series side having 7 rounds is something that is not a scoreline you want to play with, right? Because 6 rounds on the CD side of Overpass at the end of the half, or 7 rounds is not going to be enough. You need more rounds on the CD side. JS side, I won't say it's hard, but it's comparatively harder. So, you know, talking about the scoreline, it's not really in the favor of Intensity, but in the meantime, I think we are going to go live. So the game is going to get unpaused. And talking about the weapons that the CDs have bought up, they aren't really going to invest a lot in this round, I'm presuming, because the only guy who has bought up is Caramel. And they want to go in for the resources, but they are going to have 3,400 losing bonus coming in. And on the Cherry side, they only want to go in quickly, finish the work, and get done with the game.
Yeah, I mean, Invictus are actually poised to come out on top of this half, maybe even finish it 9-6, which is going to be a tremendous boost in confidence for them. But, well, Intensity Pune 5, they let go of a fantastic start. I mean, after Caramel's ace, I would have expected them to just steamroll through their CT side, because, you know, again, the momentum was with them. But Invictus, they figured out, they've just figured out that they can literally take these guys out on aim and, you know, just out-trade them and out-frag them. And Invictus and Intensity, they've not really responded very well to the localized aggression that Invictus have been showing. They've not gone, like I said, they've not gone for map control. And if you don't have information and you're just working off of what the opponent is going to allow you to glean off their plays, you're always going to be playing defense. And Sun Tzu rightly said offense is the best defense. I mean, it wasn't that, but, well, you get the drift. You need to be aggressive in a game of Counter-Strike if you want to come out on top. RSN, though, I think he's going to try and show his own brand of aggression in towards Connector. Ribby's marking the angle like a hawk. Who's going to come out on top is the question on everybody's mind. RSN ganders a peek, and it's going to be Ribby who's going to be like, thank you very much. I'm going to just collect your head for my skull collection. And with that, Invictus get the man advantage yet again, and Intensity Pune 5 will be left playing defense yet again.
They didn't really invest a lot, right? I'm surprised at the fact that they did not even try and buy a few flashes, because you have $3,400 coming in the next round. Not everyone is going to try and buy an AWP, right? I mean, they still have money to work with in the next round. So I think, you know, if you are going to invest in the pistols like 5-7 speed 50s and CZs, except for the Deagle, try and get at least one flashbang to work with, because it's not going to be more than $700, and that can make a huge difference when you know that there is someone around the corner, if you can have that perfect pop flash going in, and you could probably get that frag coming in as well. So Ruby is going to get destroyed while he's trying to take the corner. Mavis is going to get raided out really quickly. It is going to be Blur who has to wait out the 5-7. Is going to get taken down, and Binary, but getting the frag onto him. It's going to never give up all alone with the CZ. No Kevlar to work with, and I mean, there's nothing he can do right now. This is just formality, this round that is, because even if he gets a gun down, it's not going to make a dent in the Terraside's economy, and it's the last round that is coming up after this. So never give up, just waiting it out, trying to get a few frags just for the sake of it, because it's fun, and getting headshots is fun. But yeah, it's not going to be relevant. It's not going to make a difference in the outcome of the game, or at least in the outcome of the next round. But that's going to be the 8th round coming off Invictus. So all right. Wait. All right. Oh, no, man. I thought you actually wanted to go for the ninja, but it does not have a kit to work with. Did do a lot of damage. Could not find the frag and the C4. Wait, I didn't hear the C4 go off. Did you?
Yeah, it went off. I'm in the server. Went off perfectly. See, the thing I feel what Never Give Up was trying to do was land a couple of exits just to keep the economy honest. But truth be told, it's the final round of the first half. You're not really going to do much in terms of quote-unquote economy damage. And are my eyes deceiving me? Am I seeing things, or do I see 3 ops on the CT side? What is this matchmaking? Mambe, explain.
I mean, it's Caramel playing right along with these guys, and he probably forgot that it's not a pug. And look at that, the Mavis is going to get the first one. Doing a little bit of damage to Binary as well. The nade is going to do a lot of damage. He's going to get taken down to 51 points for health. And RSN connecting the shot. Hunter is going to get taken down. And are we seeing a triple op setup working out for them? 3 ops on the retake. This is going to be interesting to see now. Excali has to wait it up. He is going to be waiting out towards the pillar. Nade coming in. 52 points of health to work with. He's going to fall back. Nade going out again. It is not going to do a lot of damage. Excali is going to get spotted. Will get taken down. And triple op setup working out. What is even happening in this game?
That was fortuitous. That was a fortuitous turn of events. That actually it was Blur from Heaven, or Blur and RSN that got those. Actually kept Intensity Pune 5 in the game, in contention that final round. Score ends more or less even Steven, 7 to Intensity Pune 5, 8 to Invictus. But I think Invictus should be quite happy with that T side that they have put on display for us, because, well, they did what was necessary. They got the rounds on the board, and they've come out on top of that first half. Intensity Pune 5 now left with a mountain to climb, because, as we've said quite a few times, this is a heavily CT-sided map, and Invictus have already shown that they can out-aim their opponents. So Intensity Pune 5 really need to come up with the goods, as they say, so that they can actually, start mounting what most would call a comeback, and maybe try and win this game from certainly a disadvantageous position.
I think the first 5 rounds in this matchup are going to define the outcome of this match, because Intensity Pune 5, even though they are a bunch of players who are more than capable of winning this match, but Invictus is no joke, right? They have been around for such a long time. All of these guys, so experienced players, and I think everyone except for Binary has attended an international event. I'm not quite sure about Hunter, but Excali, Pasha, and we have went out. So this is gonna be interesting. We have everyone on the terrace side just going towards the B bombs, and the smoke is gonna get thrown out. It is going to be the crossing smoke that is going to go in towards the bombs. Actually, never mind, it's a side smoke. But Pasha just waiting. He's gonna get spotted. He's gonna try and tap it with the USP. He's gonna get the first one. Try and get the second one as well. He's going to get it. What is even happening? There we go. Excali is going to go in for the knife. He's gonna get destroyed. He's going to get his head taken off. And it is going to be never in a 1v2. If he pulls this off, Excali is going to be really upset. But surviving on 3 points of health without Kevlar, I think this is going to be a monumental task. But certainly not impossible. And Excali just going in for the knife, almost getting it. And it's kind of unfortunate for him. But Binary having the kit and the smoke to work with Hunter. Not quite sure what Neva was trying to do over there. Maybe just make a few footsteps. And that's it. That's the exact spot that I've seen the new boost coming in. I'm not quite sure if you've seen it in play, but yeah, 55 seconds on the clock to work with. It is going to be Neva just waiting it out. Hunter and Pasha, both of them towards no, man, Pasha is towards the bomb side. Wait, it's Hunter towards the bomb side. Wow, I'm just messing up the names right now for some reason, but nonetheless, it is going to be Nev Give Up just waiting it out. 35 seconds on the clock. He wants to go in towards the B bomb side. Does not have anything to work with except for the USPS and a few hopes and dreams. But he's going to go in. He is going to risk everything he has, because this is the first round. He has to try and get the round first team, and Binary playing it to perfection. He's going to be passive. He's going to allow the C4 to get planted if needed, and Hunter will be called in for the rotation. And look at that, Binary spotting him. He's going to find a chest shot onto him. He's going to get taken down, and Invictus putting out the first round in the second half.
Yeah, well, Pune needed that pistol round, and they kind of just met this gigantic potential, infinite potential wall called Pasha Sahil, playing from pillar in the B-bomb site, and he just smashed heads like a wrecking ball, smashes down walls. He was glorious in that pistol round. Excali trying to land a cheeky knife, does bag himself a kill or two as well. And wow, Pasha just continuing where he left off. Scout just going god mode there, and he needs to back away fast. Pulls out the USB, gets another kill. Ribby with the assist, and Ribby, oh well, Caramel, he's got something to say about that, and he's not taking no for an answer. In the meantime, Hunter lets the spray loose with the MP7, gets the kill, and now it's all down to Caramel. He'll need to ace clutch it out once again to keep his team in contention, but he's got no armor, and I think he's gonna get put down very soon. Binary bug just around the stairs. Be careful, Caramel. Got his sights trained for any player dumb enough to make a move, and it's gonna be Caramel who makes the first move. Alright. 3 down, 2 to go for Caramel. Can he do this? I mean, he's pretty much penned in. Anywhere he goes, all exits seem to be covered, but somehow he's managed to find the one route that isn't marked, that is towards A long. But Hunter should hear him out. Hunter should be aware of the fact that, you know, his A long is exposed. But here's the caveat. He's on 37 HP. One well-timed headshot and Caramel's got the plant again, and that's extra cash in the bag for his teammates. But the team aim punch will be coming in loud and strong, and Hunter is not a player to be trifled with. Gets the kill even on 37 points of health, denying the bomb plant as well. And Invictus move on to 10 rounds. Now, Intensity Pune 5, now this is where they make a decision. Do they go for the mixed buy? Yeah, they are. So they're going to go for utility, armor, and AK-47 on 3 players, and a little bit of utility. Mavis takes one for the team, picks up the UMP, will be the support player for this round. Intensity Pune 5 really need to make this buy count, because their opponents, now they did a lot of economic damage. So this is when you strike. You strike when the iron is hot, and it's not going to get any hotter than this. Intensity Pune 5 need to make this round count.
And well, they're going to try and do everything they can, because they have 3 AK-47s to work with, and this is a round they can actually pull off, because there's only one assault. Alright. I thought I saw Jesus for a moment in the server, but Excali just floating around, and this is going to be interesting to see. This is going to be really interesting. Binary is just going to wait. He's going to find the first one, maybe not. He's going to get taken out. Excali just waiting it out. Look at that! That is so huge. He's going to get blinded as well. He's going to try and find the first one. He gets it. Can he get the second as well? He's going to nail it. Falling back, being spotted right there. He's going to fall back, and that is going to do a lot of damage for the terrorist side, and Ruby just waiting it out. He has the MP7 to work with. Mavis is going to find the frag onto him. It is going to never give up. Being traded out on Hunter. Going to go down to RS, and it is going to be a 2v2 situation to work with. Excali is going to go down as well. It's going to be Pasha all alone in a 1v1. Is he going to get spotted? Is he going to get taken down? And Pasha, being a little bit aggressive, is going to go down, and that is going to be the first round in the second half coming up for Intensity Pune 5.
Well, Excali played that very well, but unfortunately, Ribby and Hunter kind of dropping the bomb there. Ball rather in the B bomb side, little uncoordinated. Again, I don't think it was necessary for Hunter to go for that long spray battle from heaven. He got a kill, could have just fallen back and lived another day and tried to help his teammates who were already on the flank to get a better position in on the opponents. Hunter again in connector this time. He's gonna avoid that smoke. And wow, alright, Excali brings out the AWP, makes it sing, never give up, already 6 feet under. He's been already handed a tombstone. Ribby and Excali need to be careful. Ribby spots out Caramel, and Caramel is just caught daydreaming. Good night, sweet child, is what Ribby says, and just like that, in the blink of an eye, Invictus find themselves with a 2-man advantage.
And this is such an unfortunate outcome, right? They just won a round. Now if they end up losing this round where CDs are playing with 3 CZs, this is going to be unfortunate because they had only 2 guns to work with and both of them stepped up. We had Excali getting a frag, we had Ruby getting a frag with the FAMAS, and I'm quite surprised at the fact that Excali is wielding the op, and Hunter is going to find the frag onto Blur, and this is coming in huge. Blur, being taken on, RS and trying to go in for the refrag. Hunter is going to get spotted, is going to find the second one as well. How is this guy capable of pulling such plays off? And Mavis just going in. He's going to walk around the corner. Hunter is going to get spotted. Hunter is going to get taken down, and the C4 is going to get picked up by Mavis sooner or later, or maybe not. We have Pasha watching the cross, and Ribby is weeding it out. So it is going to be Mavis in a 1v4. Has to try and make this gun count. It's going to be sneaking in, and he's going to get taken down by Ribby. Such a nice crossfire, and at this point, the area side has just been reset completely being reset. They are going to try and force it up in this round because it's a double eco situation nonetheless. And it's kind of a touchy situation, right? Because if you force this up, you take the risk. You have to go in for a double eco, and it'll be 8-13. You don't buy up in this round, you're not going to buy up in the next round as well, unless you want to force it without resources, which doesn't really make sense to me. But yeah, it's a very crucial round for Intensity Punify, and a really tough spot to be in.
But you kind of deserve to be in this economic hellhole that Intensity Punify are finding themselves in. Pasha spots out 1, 2, 3. Like literally, he's singing the nursery rhyme. 1, 2, buckle my shoe. 3, 4, knock on the door, because he is the harbinger of death and destruction for Invictus that round, and he just laid waste to whatever Intensity Pune 5 had planned. Beautiful fragging there. Yes, eco frags, but does not take away from the fact that those were glorious spray downs. And yes, Excali chimes in with, I think, 2 quick kills of his own towards the end there. Wow, Invictus just, they started off slow. They had a patchy beginning to the game, but as they say, all's well that ends well, and so far it is ending really well. And it's going to be another eco, as you correctly pointed out, just upgraded pistols for Intensity Pune 5. And just look at the difference in playstyle you've watched from you're seeing from Invictus. The switch up is immediate. Last round they knew it was going to be some sort of eco play, and I like this triple stack towards well, it's called Danger, and I don't think Intensity will be expecting this, but by the looks of it, it doesn't look like they want to have anything to do with the B bomb site. It's a very risky play, granted, because you're committing literally 4 players to the B bomb site and leaving the entirety of the A bomb site in the care of Pasha, who's playing very passive, so they don't really have that much information. And now the rotation comes in because they haven't seen anything towards Canals with 50 seconds left on the clock. They have a feeling that it's going to be a hit towards the A bomb site, and Ribby being posted up this far advanced allows the rotation to come back in case it is a B hit. Look at those nades, Jesus. Caramel down to 15, and there we go, the A hit comes in, and the players are already so low. Excali just doing Excali things. I think he spotted Blur's head out, but bomb's still gonna get put down, and it is a 2v3. Both Caramel and Blur have gotten their hands on a weapon, but they have no armor, and the aim punch is gonna be painful for Blur to deal with.
And this was just unfortunate, but Caramel is still gonna be the 1v3. Will try his best to pull her on. If gets the first one, trying to get the second, is gonna get taken down, and 8-13 now. They have more than enough cash to work with. They got the bomb down. They are all lurking around $6,000. Only one guy at 5.6. And this is going to be the round where they'll have all the resources, all the guns they want to play with as well. And we haven't seen an op coming in. And alright, so they're not going to go in for the op. I would have been really surprised if Mavis went in for the op, because the rest of the guys were lurking around at 6,000. But in the meantime, Hunter is going to pass that op up to Ribby. Now we've seen 3 guys wield the op on CD side, and all of these 3 guys have been playing it to perfection: Hunter, Ribby, and Excali. And what I really like about Hunter is, right, even though he's so good with the op, he's never ever going to pressurize you into not using the op. If Excali is feeling it, he's going to let him use it. If anyone on his team is feeling it, right, he's going to give the op up very happily, because this man is more than capable of destroying people and their dreams with the assault rifles that are in the game. So I really like what's coming in. And Ribby, again, we have the triple stack, and the Cherry side will be so taken back when they see this. And Ribby is just going to be jumping in towards A bombs, trying to spot someone. He has his USB out. well, trying to spot in towards A bomb side, and the CDs have realized it's not going to be a B hit again. We have 2 guys coming in towards A long. Actually, 1 falling back towards square, and 2 towards mid. Pasha has been spotted. It's going to throw in a Molotov, which is not going to allow the terror side to come out, even if they want to. And well, just waiting it out. 55 seconds on the clock to work with. Ruby falling back. I think he spotted RSN as well. The flashbang is going to go out. He's going to walk around the corner, not spotting anyone. He needs to watch A long unless he wants to go down without doing any sort of damage. And now he knows there are people coming from A long as well. The smoke is going to explode right in front of him, and he's going to miss out on the shot. Connect the follow-up shot. Nope, that is not going to happen. Excali is just going to be waiting out behind the smoke. Would not want to push in, and the Molotov right on the bomb site is not going to allow the C4 to get planted. This is huge coming from Invictus, and Excali is just going to be pushing the smoke, or maybe not. He's going to try and spam him down if the C4 starts planting. Spamming through the smoke. Hunter is going to find the frag. He's going to find the second one as well. Excali though trying to find the last one. We have Pasha on the lurk. Is he going to get taken down? Though we have Mavis watching the backstab, and Pasha is going to go down. So Excali trying his best to find the flag on Never Give Up. He's going to find it. It is going to be a 2v2 retake. They do not have any resources, but they do have the kit to work with. And Caramel, I don't think he's going to get spotted. Excali just going in, trying to find that frag, and Caramel playing it to perfection, wasting so much time. No one's watching A long. This is going to be so tough for the CDs. And the bomb is going to get defused. Wait, what?
Wow. Alright. Pros don't fake, Mambe. Pros don't fake. And, well, Hunter didn't. He just stuck it like a boss through the fire and flames and came up with the goods. Intensity Pune 5, they played that very well. That wall of smokes did a very good job of keeping the CTs at bay. But Excali, my god, this man is almost unstoppable when he's on form. And today he is in red hot form. He's just killing everybody that has the audacity to waltz into his crosshairs, and he's doing a phenomenal job of, you know, just pulling out rounds from thin air. Beautiful play from Invictus. And
he's a
finally,
magician.
Yeah, he is a magician, and RSN finally getting the frag that was, I think that it's going to be the crucial frag of this round. But Ribi, he's still alive, he's still kicking, and you never ever consider Invictus out of a round as long as there's even a single player left alive, because these guys are just that freaking good.
That's true. And the amount of experience they carry, right, that just adds on to it. But in the meantime, it's going to be spamming through the plank. It's going to do a lot of damage. Caramel is going to get taken down to 39 points of health, and the Molotov is going to get primed. He's not going to throw it. Pasha is going to fall back towards a bomb site. Hunter has the op to work with. Now, one thing I really want to point out is the way the op has been shuffling around its way towards, in the CT side. Hunter is really in the op right now, and look at that. Ruby is going to get boosted up top. He's going to find the frag. Never Give Up is going to get taken down. Yeah, before a few rounds we had Excali, then we have Ruby having the op, and then now we have, Hunter playing with the op. So I really like this coming from the CD side. The amount of freedom they have in terms of weaponry, right, is so huge. And the Molotov coming in, Hunter is going to miss out on the shot again because there is a smoke in front of him. He's going to connect the shot onto Blood though, and Binary waiting it out. He wants to peek out, but he has no information about Mavis. Mavis is coming in, but Binary getting the headshot onto him, and well, the scoreline is 15-8. It is match point coming for the CD side, and the scoreline. It's gonna be a huge comeback if Intensity Pune 5 have any hopes of mounting a comeback on this.
Indeed, it's gonna take a miracle. Like we're at that point in the Hindi movie where the doctor, or the surgeon, comes out of the operation theater, takes off his mask, pulls off his gloves, and says to the grieving wife ki, "Mem saab, ab mere haath ke bahar hai. Ab inhe dawa nahi, duaon ki zarurat hai." And that's what Intensity Pune 5 need. They need a miracle. And the thing is, the way Invictus have played their CT side has been near perfect. They've aggressed when they needed to, and what they've done is basically put the fear of God in Intensity Pune 5. They're actually afraid to aggress, and as I say that, look at that. Everybody on this team can op, and in the blink of an eye, it's down to a 1v3. RSN in an almost impossible to win situation. He's gonna have to have the 4K of his life, and look at Excali. He's already on the lurk, and he's already on the flank, and RSN, I don't think he'll be none the wiser, and most likely will end up getting shot in the ass. RSN needs to be careful. Excali has cleared off most of the angles. He knows exactly where RSN is, and that information should be conveyed to his teammates, and RSN is in for a world of hurt. Hunter should have been heard jumping around right now, and but Well, let's see if RSN can deliver the goods. His teammate Caramel did it twice during their time in the CT side. Can RSN keep the dream alive and keep intensity in this map?
Well, it's gonna be a tough ask, and well, you have your answer. He's not going to be able to do that because Hunter is going to finish him off. The scoreline being 16-8 in the favor of Invictus, and it was quite an interesting matchup, right? Because Intensity Pune 5, they start off really strong and somehow, you know, give us the hopes that we might be in for a very, very close game, but that did not happen. So, well, Invictus is going to pull it off. Yeah, do you have any closing words, Fet?
Yep, GG, well played. Invictus coming up with the goods. Intensity Pune 5 still have a ways to go, at least on Overpass. And guys, if you enjoyed that map, please do hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and remember to hit that bell icon to get notified daily of all the Counter-Strike goodness and the ESL India Masters, ESL India Premiership streams in general. Alright, with that we bid you fare thee well. Over to Adi and Angela. Adi with that grotesque white blazer which is shining brighter than all our futures combined at this moment. Holy hell, Adi.
Oh boy.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the studio segment of the ESL India Premiership Summer Seasons Master League. I'm your host, Angela, and with me I have Adi. Invictus just scoring their 6th victory for themselves, and this time it's a different map. It's going to be their victory on Overpass. So tell me about your thoughts about this whole game, and what did you think about Intensity Pune 5?
Yeah, so firstly, I do want to say that Invictus was playing with a substitute. We did not get that information earlier, but Binary Bug, their substitute, was playing instead of Manan. So that probably helped them a little bit, actually, because I still don't know, actually, till date now how comfortable Manan is on Overpass. I think I'm just going to have to call him up and ask him, bhai, do you like Overpass? Like, that's the only way I'm going to find out. But talking about, I'll talk about Pune 5 first, right? They impressed me in the first half. Their CT side was very decent. And they had a lot of interesting holes, a lot of joy by Caramel, actually, because he even had an ace one round, and he actually it was a very important round for him to get that ace, because Excali had a backstab on 3 of his teammates, and once Excali got 1, Caramel took him down and ended up with the ace in that round, and, you know, got a few rounds there. It was a decent showing by them, and they had a really strong start as well. But I think Invictus eventually learned how Intensity Pune 5 was playing, and they learned how to, you know, the rotations and things like that, and where the positions are, things like that, because, like, of course, even they don't know who they're playing against, right? Yeah. Because it's a relatively new team. So it is a good thing that they took their time, and it's a good thing that they could adjust. And, you know, that is the positive for Invictus. Their adjustment was really good, and yeah, it was a completely deserved victory. And on the flip side, right, the T sides for Invictus was really good. They had 8 rounds on their T side, and the T side for Pune 5 was absolutely horrendous. They had 1 T round, and also that 1 T round was actually a bonus round for the CTs. They were playing with like 2 or 3 SMGs that round, and we saw some heroics by Excali as well, that double bait set up at the monster tunnels, right? And that was a throwaway round, and then on the back of that, they actually forced. Because even Invictus didn't have that good of a bank. They had 3 pistols and an AWP and a FAMAS, and they still managed to win that round against Intensity Pune 5, and that completely put Pune 5 into a double eco situation on the T side. You know, a double eco on the T side generally doesn't happen. You generally take 1 eco and, you know, you're good. You generally will be able to buy in the next round, especially if you get the bomb plant. But they couldn't get the bomb plant. They couldn't, you know, this thing. So they had to take the double eco, and that's the main thing. I think Invictus's adjustment is the main thing. I think that was the MVP. I think Hunter is the MVP of the game, because not the MVP, like, but as the IGL, he's really good at reading the game, and that's something really impressive about him as well, because he manages to play so well as, you know, adjust to the game.
I mean, for most of the game, I saw Intensity doing pretty fine. So is there somewhere, do you feel at some point that they went wrong somewhere so bad that they couldn't really get back from there?
Yeah, I think it was the lack of their T side, basically. Their T side had nothing new, had nothing to show. They had nothing to showcase, and they did have a couple of strats in their hand. But Invictus's CT hold was it was standard, to be honest, and they couldn't break that standard hold. So I think they need to go back to the drawing board and practice overpass more.
True.
And I think they will get better at it. But yeah, I mean, the main thing, that's the thing. The main positive for Pune 5 is definitely Caramel's performance. He was their best impact player as well. You know, he had the ace, he had a couple of 3Ks, stuff like that. So I think Caramel is definitely an interesting young player and a relatively young player to the scene. I don't know how old he is actually, but relatively young player to the scene, right? So I think that's going really well for them. And yeah, they just need to stick at it. And talking about Invictus, Pasha Sahil has shut me up with a great performance actually. Pasha Sahil had a standout performance. He had 25 frags. He was their best player on the server actually, and a quad kill as well. Quite a few things. I'm just going to talk about the stats. He's probably my MVP as well. 5 entry frags, 2 revenge frags, 5 trade frags. So you know, a lot of impact, and that's the thing. And
that's fantastic.
A very important one on 2 clutch as well.
All right, so he is going to be MVP for this match.
Yep.
All right, so I'm hoping to see whether Intensity Pune does make it to the land finale. They seem like a very interesting bunch, very young blood coming in there from that team.
The thing is, I mean, I hope they stay in the Masters League. I think that should be their first step.
Yeah.
And then in the fall season, they should look at getting up there, because I don't think they are good enough yet. I think they're a good team, by the way, don't get me wrong, but they're not good enough. They're to contend with the best of them, which are the Invictus, the Entities, the Brutality, the ATE, the Too Easy, right? Like,
Big
I mean,
names
you see these 5 names and you don't really think of Intensity Pune 5 actually ending up in the top 4.
All right, so with that, we come to an end for Counter-Strike Global Offensive for the day. Thank you so much, Adi, for joining me. Don't go anywhere, folks. Coming up next, we have DOTA 2. Special shout-out to our sponsors, owned by HP, HyperX, Intel, and all this great, amazing, fun games brought to you every day by Notbin Gaming. We will see you all very, very shortly.
Turn around 3 times. Start shooting.
This is the first ever Omen X laptop for gamers that go to extremes. Gear up with the machine designed for total domination and engineered for gaming in stunning 4K. Equipped with the latest Intel Core processors, it gives you the power to be relentless. With a 17.3-inch diagonal screen and desktop-class graphics, you get maximum performance to be victorious anywhere. With multiple fans and large exhaust vents, heat is transferred away from critical components for dynamic overclocking. Ramp up boot times, game loading, and overall system responsiveness with optional RAID 0 SSD configurability. An RGB LED backlit mechanical keyboard lets you program each individually lit key to create customized key maps that switch seamlessly between games. With 2.5mm travel and in-key rollover, you can take out your competition with more accuracy and precision. Designed for extreme immersion, DTS Headphone X technology comes built in for surround sound experience that puts you right in the middle of the action. With the addition of a VR headset, gamers can step inside a completely immersive world for an elevated gaming experience. Single panel access to key components makes serviceability and upgrading easy, so you won't be sidelined or held back on your road to supremacy. It has a brushed aluminum finish on an armor-like chassis. A jet fighter-like construction with hidden lift hinges ensures you're always at the ready. And with striking lighting effects and see-through window to components, others will know too. Unleash your fiercest gameplay anywhere with the extreme performance of the new Omen X laptop.
Welcome back to the ESL India Premiership, Day 17 of the Masters League summer season. I am your host Aditya, and joining me again on the studio is Angela, the resident Dota 2 lover and expert and fanatic, and I'm running out of terms right now, verbs, adjectives, whatever they're called at this point. But yes, today is the Delhi Derby, by the way, the Delhi Derby, Alpha Esports versus Buriza. What do you think? How are you, and what do you think?
I think this is going to be, I would say, a more worrisome game for me for Alpha Esports, because they are sitting as of now 12th on the board. They have not secured any victories till now, and if they continue on the same path, they will head into promotion relegation rounds, which I really don't want them to see.
Oh, they'll just drop out, by the way. Sorry, there's no promotion relegation.
Okay, so
the bottom 4 of the Masters just drop out, and the top 4 of the Challengers 3 will come up.
Well, that's even more worrisome then, because Alpha, if you're hearing this, you gotta buck up, you gotta like start building your way at least another few points above the 4 lower slot so that you can secure yourself into the fall season Master League. But Team Buriza, on the other side, boot camp going great for them. They are from Delhi. They're doing pretty fine. I think Buriza in general and Buriza Youth, both these teams have been like 5th and 6th on the board. They're doing pretty fine for themselves. They can continue this performance. We will definitely see, I think, both of them on the LAN finale.
Okay, let's first take a look at Alpha Esports. So that's Alpha Esports for you, the team that needs to buck up and get off the bottom of the table. Let's quickly look at Buriza as well. So that's Team Buriza, 6th on the table, correct?
Yeah.
And I think the draft is already live, so I think we should get it up on the screen. While you talk about anything else you had to add about Buriza and Alpha.
I mean, Alpha in general, as far as I watched their previous games, they like to play the 5-man push, take down the towers very early in the game, maybe in the first 15 minutes. They always like to pick heroes that can either split push or push together, like the Shadow Shaman, the Venomancer, the Lycan, Tide, all these heroes. I mean, they're very good at the mid-game scenario. So if they opt to go with that kind of combination, they could mostly follow their old strat. But because they're at the bottom of the leaderboard and it's a little worrisome, maybe they could also change their gameplay. And getting into the draft, as of now, we see Alpha Esports have decided to ban out the Kunkka, the DK, the Dark Willow, the OD, and the Viper. Meanwhile, Team Buriza going to ban out the Elder Titan, Timbersaw, Brewmaster, and Tinker. They're going to opt to pick up the Sand King and the Terrorblade. Now, the Terrorblade fares pretty well for them. They like it. They also indirectly mean that they're going to be trying to do a split push over here. They could send the Sand King in the off lane. Meanwhile, on the other end, we see Alpha Esports. They are going to pick up the Witch Doctor. Very good 4th role support coming in from them. They could also opt to go for the Shadow Shaman or the Earth Spirit as a secondary support. They're going to send that Beastmaster in the off lane against the heavy duty tri lane, and that's going to be a Terrorblade with another secondary support. So picking up the Beast, a good option. Not really seen him that much as of now in the ESL India Premiership, and he very well can scout with his bird and also make sure that he gets those needed levels from the neutral creeps right next door. So he's going to be faring fine for himself. For now, we see
I
the
have a question.
Yes.
Why is Razor banned every time I see a game? Because I've always thought of Razor as a noob hero, like, you know, noob-friendly hero.
Razor is actually pretty strong. Nowadays, he is sent in the mid lane, and basically his ultimate is it damages buildings. So it damages the towers and it takes it down really quick. Also, the secondary skill of Razor is basically where if he connects to you, he steals damage from you that he can use.
That's been there for a while, right?
That's been for a while.
From the start, because I used to play as Razor when I Razor or Drow Ranger or Sniper when in my 100 drunken hours of Dota 2.
All the noob-friendly heroes.
Yeah, exactly. That's what, like, the noob-friendly heroes. That's why I thought that's why it's very surprising for somebody like me to see you know, Razor being banned every time, because it's generally every game. I didn't think he was so important that he has to be banned out.
Well, he is actually in nowadays meta, because the games end within the first 20 minutes. I would this is an observation, a personal observation, that if you have a hero that's basically stealing damage from your carry in 20 minutes, you basically cannot make any item that's going to be larger in damage compared to what Razor has stolen from you. And that can be very devastating if you're the carry of the other team, because you're doing lesser damage, you're getting extra damage, and there's not really much you can fare around it. You are going to lose the fight. And plus, he can take down buildings. So as soon as you're done with your 4v5 fight, you're going to just move ahead and start destroying more barracks. And that's a risk that no team really wants to fight against.
Is that the Earthshaker on Alpha Esports?
Yes, that is the Earthshaker.
I also noticed that Buriza's third pickup, whatever that is, was really quick, by the way.
I think
like, they didn't take any time. Like, it was like literally 1 second and then they just picked him.
I think that Buriza has come in with a very steady lineup. They know what they want to play in this meta, and especially in this game, they want to make sure that they do make it to the LAN finale. Being on the 6th slot, I think only the top 4 teams get invited, and they got to make sure that they take down this game quick and easy. And that's why the Aberdeen fares very well. He's going to be in the off lane against the super hard tri lane. As now I look at the tri lane, it is pretty devastating. I mean, they have a Witch Doctor, an Earthshaker. They're going to pick up something like the Gyrocopter, in my opinion. And if they do that, then the Abaddon is mainly just going to be there when the creeps reach his tower. Otherwise, he can just go and farm NCs. And that's mostly their plan. Nowadays, teams do like to pick up offlaners which kind of can get more farm in the jungle more than standing in the lane, because supports have learned a better way to kind of manage creeps. And as I say that the mid lane for Alpha Esports get picked up here, it's going to be the Death Prophet coming in there from Alpha Esports. Now, they look very tanky. They also look like the kind of combination where once that Blink Dagger becomes available on the Earthshaker, there's not really much Buriza can say to it unless they destroy the Earthshaker a lot before that Blink Dagger. While Alpha is looking to take this game in a 5-man complete push strat, like I mentioned before, they want to really take down those outer towers, build that momentum for their team, take down maybe the Terrorblade once in a while. But looking at the Terrorblade also, I would have preferred if they wouldn't have taken the Earthshaker, maybe picked up something like an Ancient Apparition or an Oracle, because if he's going to get to sunder any of these heroes, he's basically going to just come back to full HP.
That's one thing I've done. Earthshaker is the only hero on Alpha Esports currently who has a stun.
Who has a stun? No, the Witch Doctor also has a stun. The Beastmaster has his ultimate. That's also a stun.
Okay.
So there are also
so never mind.
yeah.
So now I can understand why you're saying they could have picked up something else instead of the Earthshaker.
True. And Team Buriza, meanwhile, nice pickup coming in there. They're going to pick up the Winter Variant as of now, and that also means that that Terrorblade is not going to die. He has an Abaddon who's going to keep giving him HP. He has a Winter who's going to heal him. He also has a Sand King to make sure that if everything else goes wrong for him, the Sand King is there to save the day. So Buriza looking very strong in this draft. For the last two bans, we see Queen of Pain getting banned out there from Alpha Esports. Razor being the last ban as of now. Team Buriza got to still ban out one last hero, mostly a mid. They don't really want to give Alpha the Gyrocopter, and they're going to quickly ban that out. One of the top picks for Alpha Esports is a Gyrocopter, which also makes me think about what do they want to go with this. They could opt to go for a Lycan and maybe secure the lane for themselves. Also, they can push fast with the Lycan. But Team Buriza ending their draft for now with an Omni Knight. So it's going to be an Omni Knight going in the off lane. Buriza's lineup makes me a little questionable on where is the burst damage coming from, because they have a lot of tank, they have a lot of sustainability.
They don't have a traditional mid player, right, Buriza?
I mean, they don't have a traditional mid hero. They could maybe send the Omni Knight mid, but it's not a traditional hero. I mean, now when we talk about traditional heroes, we have the Queen of Pain, we have Storm Spirit, we have Puck, we have Templar Assassin. But Alpha going to end their draft with the Void. They look pretty sustainable. They have the damage and the burst available for themselves. But Buriza, they have too much sustainability. And even if Alpha finishes using all their spells, I still see Buriza, especially the Terrorblade, standing very strong in the fights. And that's something Alpha needs to be a little bit careful about, because if they're going to just jump in as they plan on and it doesn't succeed, they're going to be on a very back foot in the fights.
So what would your prediction be for this game?
I think Buriza will just sustain longer, and that would be the only reason why I would think that this game could end in about 30 minutes. And Terrorblade, if he gets the right farm within the first 18-20 minutes, I don't think Alpha will be able to handle the push coming in for them.
All right, so there we have it. Our casters, Vivek and Floki, are ready for you. So let's just get into this game and see who wins this Delhi Derby.
Hello folks and welcome back to the ESL India Premiership. This is the summer season day 17 and we've got Alpha facing off versus Team Buriza. My name is Vivek, with me is Floki. And Team Buriza, they've had their ups and downs here. They did have a particularly rough game to start off their run in the Masters League versus Signify. But they've got a win under their belt as well versus Aksuki.
Yep.
Floki, well, you had a day full of casting. You casted MPGL.
Yeah.
And an Indian team gets a slot in an international tournament. A lot at stake. But surprisingly, not too many people tuning in. What were some of your key takeaways from earlier in the day?
Well, I don't really know why people would not tune in for that. In fact, I think this was one of the streams that people should have tuned in more for. I mean, bloody hell, it's an Indian team that is guaranteed to qualify a slot in Southeast Asia. You don't see that very often. I think a lot more people should have tuned in. But I also think that not a lot of people knew that this was happening. and as a
Right.
result, they didn't tune in for the stream.
But
ESL,
it was
everybody
some
knows.
quality Dota, right? Like
Oh yeah, it
Reckoning
sure
really
as hell
showing up.
was. Yep. Micro.
Yeah,
Like,
did
he's-
Micro just walk up?
Yeah, he just walked up casually, said hi, dropped his items, and went back.
Okay.
But
A little
yeah.
bit of PM to get things started. Another interesting switch on the side of Alpha is that Blizzard was playing the 5 position, but now he's playing the safe lane Dead Prophet.
Well, that's pretty interesting.
And
Not
we're
sure
also seeing a safe lane Abad.
And we're seeing a mid-faceless void. What am I witnessing? Like, what's going on?
I don't know. Even
mean-
then, unconventional lanes. We're seeing an aggressive tri lane coming out from Alpha in the off lane.
Oh man, this is such a bad matchup for the Faceless Void because Terrorblade just kind of wrecks the Faceless Void with the meta. Not much he can and look at. Lovely. Sand King, he
Yeah.
just gets Sandstorm level 1, comes in, and he's just gonna Sandstorm the Faceless Void.
Yeah, TP's coming into the mid lane. It is hidden. Tiltman is dropping low. Butter
Wait,
does
he
only
went
have
for
the
the
sandstorm,
dash?
but there's the Metamorphosis. Tiltman put his first skill point into time lock. Sure, he's got all that gold coming in from the bounty runes, but he's gonna have to ferry out a salve and pop it soon and be a little careful in this mid lane.
Absolutely, I mean, I have no clue why he would go for the Bash level 1. I think the Time Walk was a much better choice because take some harass damage, you just Time Walk back and wait for the creep wave to come under his tower and farm away. I think that's how you want to play this matchup as the Faceless Void because if you stand too close to the creeps, you're gonna take a lot of harass damage from Micro. And look at this,
Right.
every single time he's gonna come up to the creep wave, he's gonna take 2 right clicks to the face and that's nearly 100 HP gone.
Yeah, I think when you're running such an unconventional mid lane, the one that needs EXP more is the Void, because he wants to get that fast level 6 and get that Chronosphere. Micro is actually not too bothered that he's missing out on EXP. In fact, he's benefiting a lot more. And if you look at the two supports, the best that the Earthshaker can do until Void gets his Chronosphere is just drop a defensive Fissure. There really isn't any kill potential on this Terrorblade, but Butter can just do so much more on the Sand King. I think when you run such unconventional mid heroes, you gotta be really careful as to what supports you pick up. And this Earthshaker can't really do too much. He feels really useless for the first couple of minutes, and he's got to try and find purpose on the bottom lane. There is kill potential here. It's not an easy kill by any means.
They can go for the Winter Wyvern to be honest, but the add-on with the shield is gonna make it a bit difficult for them.
Yeah, they can. They've got damage over time. They've got the bow, and Hidden just chilling with that Invis rune. Helm, he's got to be careful. He hasn't got the Arctic Burn for a while. They dropped the Fissure. They've got the Wild Axes. There's the Euphoric Shield that you spoke of, but the damage coming through. Danny, with the Cask and the Maldic, secures first blood here.
Yeah, top lane, Darshan is just destroying this safe lane Death Prophet by a big margin. He's sitting at 10 for 5 and Blizzard is sitting at 7 to 2. This is not the matchup you want if you're the Death Prophet. You want to have a good lane so that you can transition into a seamless mid-game where you just Exorcism, take team fights, take towers. Oh, bottom lane though, sort of.
I'm looking at mid as well, where both the Terrorblade and the Void, they're just trading hits, and this isn't a lane where anyone should die. But I was kind of expecting a freak accident that take place at mid, but it's at bottom, where I don't know.
Clowny stuff is happening. The Abaddon is diving a tier 1 tower for God knows who. I think he died for the Witch Doctor, but now he's in a precarious position and he's most likely gonna fall.
He's got 5 stitches. He can buy out those boots of speed. I don't know if he's keeping track of the cooldowns, but I think he can just TP out.
Yeah, he probably knows that there's no fissure, so he is most likely going to try that.
He can just pop the stick charges, TP out.
Yeah, he can just TP out, he doesn't even have to pop the stick. I don't think the right clicks... No, never mind. Beastmaster has access in 2 seconds, so...
Exactly.
With that, he's going to be able to find the kill, but... He has to pop the wand if he wants to survive, but...
Yeah.
Let's talk a bit about the Sand King's itemization. He went for 9 tangos as his starting items. And I have absolutely no clue why. I think he was anticipating a lot of trading hits, but so far I don't think buying an enormous amount of tangos on a position 4 hero like Sand King is the right way to go. He did find the bounty runes, and that sort of helped him get his early boots, but
Yeah.
buying 9 tangos is rather an ice thing to do. I remember when he used to play off lane.
I think what Butter was expecting was that he was going to go up versus the Beastmaster. The Beastmaster trades better than you, so I'm just going to come to lane with a bunch of tangos. He also bought a Stout Shield, if I'm not mistaken, early on.
He did,
so he itemized for the Beastmaster. I think it's okay. I think, irrespective, he's doing his job.
I think the plan though was not really to trade, because this Abaddon is the one who's the core here, not the Sand King, so buying so many tangos might not be justified. Anyway, we're gonna see if it pays or if it doesn't eventually. I mean, these are tangos, right? They're gonna pay you throughout the early game, but is it worth investing, I don't know, 270 gold? Maybe, maybe not.
Yeah. If nothing else, you distribute them. The Abaddon sure needs some tangos. I'm keeping my eyes again peeled for mid pair.
Yeah.
I know Terblade versus Void. I'm just hoping no one does anything silly. Tiltman doesn't have the time walk. I'm going to move towards bottom, and yeah, the Abaddon did manage to TP out.
Well, Micro has the meta.
No, wait, he did TP out. Sort of just walked out of there.
Never mind then.
But yeah, we might probably see a early Helm of the Dominator coming in Sorab. And they're going to start applying pressure down bottom.
Yeah, Tiltman. Mid lane, I think Tiltman.
Yeah, down mid. What the hell?
Yeah, Tiltman, he did have the time walk, but Micro got the positioning advantage there. Could have got it earlier as well, but he didn't keep
This is
track
just
of
silly.
time walk.
I
Yeah,
think
top lane.
for the bottom lane, yeah. Except for the bottom lane, the top lane and the mid lane aren't lanes where people should be dying just by themselves. But Micro's finding a solo kill on the Void here, and Alpha is not going to be too pleased about that. Either way, it is a mid Void. He can cover. He's got the mid lane all to himself, and he's still really useful with his Chronos here.
Yeah, but I'm a little concerned for this Void, because he's gonna need those sort of items like the Mask of Madness if that's what he decides to go for, the Battle Fury, to farm during the downtime of Chronosphere, because that's really when Buriza are gonna look to fight. Hopefully you're gonna have your Sand King blink by 14-15 minutes. It's optimistic, but it's possible this game, because Butter has gone for that slightly greedy Sandstorm build, so he most certainly can get that farm if he gets a bunch of bounty runes.
Yeah.
And once you have that blink dagger, you're just gonna punish this faceless warrior every single time after he's popped his Chronosphere. You gather a bunch of heroes, you go where this Void is farming, and you just kick him to the curb.
I think one of the important things when new heroes like the Sand King and the Earthshaker is finding that balance between getting something done in the lane and finding your own farm. And Butter, he is finding his farm. He's I mean, he's just one CS behind the Beastmaster, and even though some of those might be ancients, he's doing his bit. He's getting EXP as well. So all in all, a good start here for Team Buriza. And I wasn't even looking at the net worth advantage, and this net worth advantage that you're looking at, the 2000 gold lead that the Radiant are working with, it's really not because of the kills. It's more so because Alpha just really losing their lanes.
Yep. You against an Abaddon, and most of the times is gonna win his lane if he's against a dual versus dual lane situation.
Right.
Micro has a free time against the Void. The Void doesn't really threaten the Terrorblade. And top lane as well, the Death Prophet doesn't have the potential to harass or zone the Omni-Knight out really, because you have Purification, you have Ward Charges, you have Repel, like you don't really die here.
And there's really no kill potential on Dashin until there's a lot of lockdown, or until the Death Prophet puts a point in the silence. Till then, there's not much that Alpha can do. There's no kill potential made until Tiltman gets Chrono and probably something like an early Treads, but there's kill potential down bottom, where the Witch Doctor ends up falling.
I was watching
and Buriza,
well,
they're just snooping all over their opponents.
Earthshaker might actually die here. Okay, never mind.
Oh yeah.
He's gonna come from the Witch Doctor. Thing is, this Earthshaker pickup is really not gonna work out that well for them because they don't have any sort of kill
Might
potential.
still die. He's got the Fissure, they have the cask. Darshan is okay. Mid lane, meanwhile, Butter just lurking behind the tier 1 and Tiltman. I mean, he either ends up falling or he might lose his tier 1 as well.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely gonna lose his tier 1. Question is, can he get the deny off?
Yeah,
he has a Chronosphere.
Tiltman might still die. The Metamorphosis is still available. Tiltman walks ahead. Forgets the fact that Butter was in position to get off a Burrow Strike, and even with that level 2 Burrow Strike, Butter putting in some real work.
Yeah, I mean, that was extremely ambitious there, by the way, to say the least. He walks in. He doesn't time walk. He walks in, tries to get the Chronosphere
without time
off,
walk, and ends up dying.
Yeah. I said he doesn't have time walk. And this Earthshaker pick as well, I mean, you really want to be fighting and sort of hoping that this Earthshaker can be of some use in the early game. Maybe set up a kill. Fissure is a great spell, but it needs to be used very, very well in order to set up kills. The problem is, though, on the side of Buriza, literally no one is gankable. Maybe the Winter Wyvern if they commit multiple heroes, but even then it's a hard kill.
Folks are gankable, but not with the Void. The Void and an Earthshaker can't really gank. Mid, the bottom lane, the Beastmaster, he's struggling because it is an Abaddon. He's got plenty of sustain, and up top the Omni Knight isn't going to be falling anytime soon.
I mean, exactly.
If this was something like a Queen of Pain mid, there'd be kill potential on that dive lane. A Fissure could set up for a kill, but what does a Void do?
I mean, there's so many bad things for Void this game. Even if he does pop the Chronosphere, he can only focus one target, and that's where Winter Wyvern comes in. He comes in, drops the Cold Embrace on one person, and suddenly your Chronosphere is useless.
Right.
If you look at the lineup of Alpha, they don't have that kind of follow-up inside the Chronosphere apart from the Death Ward. And even Death Ward is physical damage, so Cold Embrace is going to protect you from that. That's why I really like this Winter Wyvern pick. It's actually worked out for them.
Yeah. Up top, Darshan is just running down Blizzard. Blizzard should recognize the fact he can just TP out of here, but he's going to commit the Exorcism, and Darshan with those face boots might just run away. The Spit Siphon slowing down Darshan. He's got Ification. The Crypt Swarm is there. Blizzard wants his kill. He's committed all his Spirit Siphon charges, and he's going to end up finding it. Exorcism committed. Alpha find the second kill of the game. But look at this. Buriza, they're grouping up for bottom.
I mean, yeah, they're making use of every single Terrorblade cooldown they have. And I think what Buriza are trying to do here is make this a single core lineup with the Terrorblade, so that they can just protect him and they can constantly push. Like every single time meta is up, you group up, get towers, don't give any breathing room to the side of Alpha Esports. And because you've won your lanes, there's not much that they can do.
Right.
Micro gonna finish his Dragon Lance up pretty soon as well, so he's gonna be able to attack outside the Chronosphere range. If he doesn't get Chrono, that is. That's
well,
like, none of these cores are gankable on the side of Buriza. They're not gonna die. With these heroes, certainly not. Side of Alpha.
Yeah. You're gonna need a silence. You're gonna need a pick. If you want to deal with the Abaddon, I don't know. So many conditions for Alpha to get it if they want to win a team fight here.
And like, Buriza's lineup is just much easier to execute as well, right? You just have the Terrorblade, you need to pop your meta and hit buildings, make sure the Terrorblade lives and you win the game. On the side of Alpha though, there are so many factors that you have to work with. First, you need to make sure that the Abaddon does not have a shield, so your Raw does not get dispelled. Then you need to make sure that the Winter Wyvern is dead, so that the Chronosphere is actually of some use and the Winter Wyvern doesn't just go and place the person getting gone on. Then you also need to make sure that none of your heroes get bursted down at the start of the team fight, which is very likely to happen, especially when there's a Sand King against you in the opposition team.
Yeah.
And then you also need to count for the Omni Knight, who can just drop a Guardian Angel and render that Chronosphere.
You said the only thing to follow up that Chronosphere is a dead bot. You also got the Exorcism.
It's not that much, to be honest.
No, but the problem is, anything coming in that Chronosphere is physical, right? The Exorcism also physical damage, and all it takes is one Guardian Angel.
Yeah. Guardian Angel does block Exorcism, right?
Exactly.
I think it does.
So you have touched the Omni Knight in the Chrono. I mean,
Yep.
that's the only part I've figured out
And
so
look
far.
at this. Alpha gonna try to fight this, but they all gonna end up losing because
But
none of
look
them
at
have
Oshin
levels.
just drops the repel, runs in, they've got the reflection as well, the purification does work, and there's that Winter's Curse. Tiltman kills his own teammate, gets controlled by the Sand King, held in place with the Power Strike, there's that Guardian Angel, and suddenly it's Alpha on the run. A buyback coming up from the Earthshaker, Rogue committed onto the Omni Knight, they've got that Exorcism, but there's the save. The Euphoric Shield and the Cold Embrace keeping Dashin healthy. Another Spirit Siphon while off to the side, Saurabh's gone in. A Power Strike onto the Earthshaker, who's bought back to stay alive in this fight, and he's gonna end up falling along with the Dead Prophet. Team Buriza just running ham. Tiltman commits the Chronosphere, gets squad done. Butter looking for the two-man impale, doesn't quite find it, but they find the Beastmaster, they find the Void as well, and Dami.
Oh no, this
set
Witch
back to his own
Doctor.
fountain.
He's not even gonna
Fountain
make it back to
diving
his own
12 minute
fountain.
in.
Oh god. Yeah, he ends up living.
This is an SEA pub, but Team Buriza, they got what they want. They got a tier 2 and they got a lot more as well.
Yeah, I think this has to be the most one-sided game I've seen in the history of Dota for a long time. Especially getting stopped like this. You have all your spells, but really, what the hell are you gonna do? There are so many heals, so many saves, so many dispels, so many ways of counter initiation that you can't actually fight in the lineup of Buriza.
Right.
I just
think,
don't see how they win. Alpha Esports, their win condition at this moment. Let's try and think of that. How do you think they win this game?
So, before we get into win condition, I think the biggest factor why it's so one-sided is the draft.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, they just...
Of late, Indian teams have been drafting well. And I don't want to take away any credit from Buriza, but this is a bad draft coming in from Alpha.
I agree. This draft, I have no clue why they would pick a faceless.
Even then, I mean, think about it, Floki. Why send the Void mid? Why can't you just send Dead Prophet mid?
Exactly, like that part made absolutely no sense to me. Like, why the hell would the Death Prophet stay top against an Omni Knight, a match that she never wins, or at best draws even in, instead of going mid against Terrorblade?
She's got net worth, right? She's done okay.
I mean, she's got net worth, but the TV would have had much lower net worth if she was mid at the time.
Exactly.
So that's something
and you know what? Think about it. If you had the Dead Prophet mid, you actually had a shot at killing the TV with the Earthshaker. You put the Void mid.
Void doesn't do anything. All he does is give you, I don't know, how much damage. He gives you like 50 damage per right click. Oh, Butter. He's just sandstorming, and supports don't even have money for detection at this point in the game.
They do. They've got a sentry. Butter's gonna turn it around. The Winter's Curse is there. They commit the road on the Sand King. And at the end of it all, TTFU, he's not gonna find what he's looking for. The Maldic, the Enchanter, and they want the Sand King. They'll get him.
Well,
but it has been costly.
They lost a Void and a Witch Doctor for the Sand King. That's
Wait,
not good.
What? Did Witch Doctor die?
Witch Doctor died just right next. I mean, Winter Wyvern got him with a Splinter Blast, right?
Okay.
The Void died as well. So, I mean, you got a Sand King, but is it really worth it? I don't think so, man.
Right.
Oh boy. I sort of feel bad for the lineup of Alpha Esports because genuinely there was a chance that they could have won this game, but signing the Death Prophet top.
I don't know. I think even if they sent the Death Prophet mid, they might have done better in one lane. Definitely sending the Void mid was a questionable decision. But I think the draft itself is heavily skewed in favor of Team Buriza.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think I really like what Team Buriza are running here. They're experimenting. They're running some sort of, I don't know. I've played drafts like this back in Dota 1, where we pick IO and Baron, and everybody gets healed for the rest of their life. It's like healthcare that America never promised. I mean, always promised but never delivered. But Alpha, they just drafted their own little kid. It doesn't work. I mean, come on, all of it is physical. One Guardian Angel is going to take care of that. Plus the laning. Plus ending the Void mid.
And on top of that, like the Earthshaker instead of I mean, I don't want to hang on to mistakes for too long, but I'm just gonna say this one little thing, then keep quiet. The Earthshaker, instead of going out trying to set up kills, should have either stayed at the bottom lane and set up kills, or gone up and just started pulling. Because now he's in this position where he doesn't have Arcane Boots or Blink Dagger, and he's basically not gonna do anything up until he has his Blink.
Yeah, I think as a 4 position, you gotta have this is a like focus where you say that, guys, this is the one lane that needs me, and this is the lane I'm gonna win. It's not worth it just visiting all lanes, dropping a Fisher here and there, and getting nothing done.
Yeah, I mean, they don't even care about that. Even if you drop a Fisher mid, maybe he doesn't care about that. He has a lot of base
Exactly. I
HP
think
so.
you have to read your draft. You got to read the enemy's draft, and as a 4 position, take a call that, guys, I can't move mid and get anything done until Void gets Chrono and TB is badly underfarmed, and I have Echo Slam, because that's what it's going to take to kill a TB. Or it's going to take a +1 to make a rotation if they want to kill a TB. I think about it like this: if they wanted to get that TB, it would take a smoke rotation from both the Earthshaker and the Witch Doctor.
Yeah, and I think possibly even the Death Prophet, because there's the chance that he just uses the Sunder.
He gets the Sunder off. Yeah. So you gotta time that Fisher just after the Chrono. You gotta
chain your spells.
Line up your spells, please, so that he doesn't get the Sunder off. And maybe with Echo Slam and Chrono, you can possibly burst them down.
Yeah, I mean, even if they do that, it's like 2 spells committed for the TB, and if he hasn't popped his meta, he's gonna just laugh at your face and come back from the green and take it down.
Saurabh, he's already laughing at their faces. He's running into the midst of 5 heroes. He's got the border time. He's gonna heal up by the purification, and that purification, that's gonna bring down Tiltman. Saurabh still running, not respecting that exorcism, has the radiance, wants to bring down Blizzard. Blizzard has the Yule Scepter, but it's cute. They've got the burst damage with the Burrow and the purification, and Team Buriza. I don't know how we stop them. I don't think Alpha should really take this too hard on themselves. Because I think this was a game that was lost in the draft and lost in the lanes to some extent. This is something that can be looked at and fixed. It isn't that they're bad players.
Yeah,
it isn't that. I think bad playing takes time to get. It takes time to become mechanically better, but a drafting issue can be fixed, and I'm sure Team Alpha are going to address this, but for now, they want to fight. They've got the Chrono, got the Mask of Madness with the Hespada. Channeling up the Epicenter, goes in the Echo Slam, clips a bunch, but Saurabh and Micro don't care. They've got the heals coming out from the Omni Knight. They'll turn, they'll bring down the Earthshaker. Quick row coming out on the Abaddon, and Saurabh, his border type down, he might end up falling, but the Winter's Curse is there. It's a Witch Doctor pounding away on the Beastmaster, and the Beastmaster will survive, but Saurabh finally ends up falling. And Alpha, could they possibly look to turn things around here? Micro got the Sunder, will Sunder the Blizzard Death Prophet, but he got a pause on our hands.
Man, the Chronosphere was great, but the Winter's Wyvern save came in with the Cold's Embrace. The follow-up Earthshaker Echo Slam was great too, but then there's just so much sustain on the side of Buriza. It's really hard to bring down any of the heroes. They got the Abaddon. I don't think they're gonna get anything else though.
I think as long as there's alive with a Blink and a Burrow Strike, and he prioritizes who he goes on in this engagement, I think Team Buriza are going to be okay, because Micro's got the Sunder off on Blizzard. I think Team Buriza, they're going to look at this fight in third person, try and get a feel of the fight. They're going to first bring down Tiltman with the Split Blast. They'll bring him down, they move on to TTFU. And look at that damage with the purification. Blizzard being chased next. He's got a Yule Scepter coming off cooldown. He's got the face boots as well. He's run towards the shrine. He's stagnant. But the damage from Buriza might just be a bit too much. Well, he tried his best.
He did. Brownie points to Alpha Esports for trying, to be honest, at this point.
Yeah.
Any other team would have just given up. I really respect their effort and commend their perseverance in this game.
Absolutely. They've still the fight in them, but the problem is they're missing all those big ticket ultimates. And without the Exorcism, Chronosphere, Deadboard, Primal Roar, or Echo Slam, how do they win a team fight here? Team Buriza with a 16,000 net worth advantage are knocking on a lane of Vixia. They haven't got the Metamorphosis on Micro. That's the good news, but Saurabh's back. And
Tiltman has a Chronosphere another 50 seconds, so he can if you go in.
50 seconds?
Yeah, it's a bit of a top order. I agree.
I mean, if he goes in for the next set of barracks, right? I think these barracks are done for. They haven't got the glyph either.
They don't have better for another 20 seconds. So okay, they will still get this tower. I mean, this racks though.
Yeah, look at sort of reflection plus radiance.
I mean, this is
think
so hard to play.
Only saving, I mean, one of the big saving graces for Alpha in that small fight over there was the cast range on Purification.
Yeah,
I think Saurabh just likes to run in, and Shim can't really get the Purification from that far out.
Yep.
So Saurabh might be putting himself in danger if he just dives a bit deep and Darshan isn't there to follow him up. But yeah, the patch is at least helping Alpha a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. Still have comeback mechanics in this patch, and I think this patch even prioritizes late game a lot more.
Absolutely, it does. But they've got to win this fight. They want to defend this lane of barracks. Tiltman goes in, drops the chrono. It does catch Micro with illusions outside. But the cold embrace is there. Netbot not doing too much. Sora pops the borrow time, heals up. Hidden gets a huge echo slam to roar upon the Abaddon. But there's the Guardian Angel and the Witness Curse. It's a Beastmaster and the Earthshaker pounding away on Tiltman. But Tiltman has the time walk. He's going to get away. The Net Prophet not so fortunate. Two-man power strike coming out. They are controlling two buybacks coming out from the side of Alpha. But they've lost their Beastmaster. And the Net Prophet without exorcism can't really do too much. Once again, Chronosphere, Primal Rogue, Exorcism, Echo Slam.
Good game.
Not netting them a kill. Alpha will tap out here.
Oh well. Kudos to Alpha for trying, man. I mean, you can take the man out of the fight, but you can't take the fight out of the man. And they showed a really good example of that. I commend their efforts in all honesty. I appreciate them sticking around and trying to turn the game.
Absolutely. They gave it their all until the very end. Is still a lot of turnaround potential in that Chronosphere, and it did net them that kill on Saurabh near the mid tier 3 in the mid lane of barracks. But that's about it as far as the Dota 2 broadcast is concerned for the day. You can find us on our social media at facebook.com/vwaycasting and facebook.com/FlokiDota.
That's me.
Yeah.
Loki.
Oh, that's you. Okay. Before I throw it over to Apil, Adi, I think you've got a word for this when it happens in CSGO. It's called a spanking, and this is what a spanking in Dota 2 looks like. Over to you, Angie and Adi, to take this one and break it through.
Thank you, Vivek. So there indeed, now I know what a spanking in Dota 2 looks like. Buriza making quick work of Alpha Esports. And nobody even reached level 15 there. That's how quick that game was.
Okay. So before I start the analysis for this game, I first of all, I would just like to say, Buriza, very well played. I mean, you guys have pulled out a draft that I haven't really seen as of now in the ESL India Premiership. We kind of brought back memories of in Dota when, like how Vivek mentioned, you know, you just all want to just keep your HP going and see to it that is going to win you the game. And I think that is the kind of drafting we should see more of it in the ESL India Premiership. But breaking down the game, I mean, first and foremost, sending the Void mid by Alpha Esports, it made no sense to me because your Death Prophet is your mid and she fares beautifully.
You even said the pickup didn't make sense as well, right? Just the Void pick.
Yeah, the Void, I mean, it could make sense if you have everybody sinking into the same thing, because what does Void basically do at level 6? He just has a chrono that holds people for a while. He doesn't have the damage. He doesn't have anything to kind of back him up apart from the chrono. Now, if you send him mid, the problem that you face is that as soon as he hits level 6, he needs to go and start killing people on the map. But when your own team is suffering, how do you take that initiative forward? And I think the Death Prophet would have fared much better for them in the mid lane against the Terrorblade. She can do a lot of damage. So you could have made sure that maybe the TB wouldn't have got that much farm, maybe held the lane better. But when it's a carry versus carry in the mid lane, it works for Team Buriza because TB hitting level 6 is beautiful. I mean, he can just start taking down towers. He has a Sunder ready if someone tries to engage on him. He has his team for backup. And on the top lane, we saw that Darshan, who was on the Omni Knight, was kind of wrecking the lane against the Death Prophet. And he didn't really seem to care about, you know, whether the DP is carry or she's trying to play carry or what it was. And that kind of is where everything just started going wrong for Alpha. Their off lane didn't, again, make much sense to me. I mean, most of the stuff they did, I think they just felt that they wanted to try out something else. But the thing about the way Team Buriza played is that they just made sure that no matter what came to them, their only objective was, we're going to keep each of our teammates alive, and at the end of the day, we're going to see to it that a Terrorblade reaches that racks within 19 minutes. And that's basically what Buriza did, and I think they fared pretty well for themselves. I think the synchronizing between all the 5 players, I couldn't really choose an MVP, like I told you, because they all played their part well. I think that boot camp's going brilliant. But Alpha, I still cannot understand what they were aiming for, because if they were aiming for a Void Chrono with a Witch Doctor ulti coming in for them, good idea. Beastmaster works well for them, but the Earthshaker can't really use an Echo Slam in a Chrono. He's just going to get stuck in it. No. He didn't even get his Blink Dagger mostly, I think. And you have to make sure that when you pick up a hero like Void and you're sending him it, your game plan is very, very strong. Otherwise, you know, I would have even chosen a Lycan over the Void in this kind of game. Yeah. But I think Alpha Esports has come into this tournament to learn a lot, and they're getting to play against some really amazing teams who are part of the Masters League, and are brilliant teams. So I think it's more of a learning experience for them. Okay, so there you have it. Alpha Esports, even Vivek said that, in fact, that they need to work on their drafting. So yeah, that's it from us for today. This is the ESL India Premiership, sponsored by Omen by HP, HyperX, Intel, and brought to you by Nodwin Gaming. Hit that subscribe button, hit that bell icon so that you can catch us every single day with some great Clash Royale, Counter-Strike, and Dota action. But that's it from us today. Good night and be well.
The guy's out.
That was beast.
Game, record, and stream without compromise on Intel Core i7.